it, don't it?
Yeah.
It's
They're
supposed
trying
to,
to
but
peel it right
but
now.
it's children involved, so they're not going to scrutinize children like they would adults. And
Children
it's
of
white
substance.
kids. White people empathize with white kids more than anything. And that's what they guess what they did. That was the event was on a weekend. That Monday in that school and every other school that knew the kid, they had a prayer visual. If you want to come and talk to a counselor, come and talk to Miss Jones. Come and talk to Mr. So and so. That's what they do for kids. These are high school kids, so that's why people think, oh, they should apply this law. Not on kids. They're not going to do that, especially the witnesses. They don't want these kids to relive that trauma. That's the one thing they're thinking about. But, if you work in the school, you'll know. You go sit down. That's just part of the game plan, man. It's unfortunate. So,
Now ask a question, right? So what if now tomorrow, let's say tomorrow morning, the video come out and the video that was in court and that was blurry, and then the other new video with them I talk about, and then we see it for ourselves and see that he was trying to get away, somebody grab him by him hoodie and draw him back and then start choke him, and then something happen, the white boy start ball out. How we gonna feel then?
I wouldn't feel no kind of way. Then the truth will be what it is, right? But that's the thing. Think about it. Kids, because kids are smart with this technology, right? Like you said, they got their camera on speed dial. They looking for a moment to video something that's funny or silly. They that's what they do. All of these kids, teachers, administrators, school got cameras that y'all don't know where they are, and now no videos appearing, and the one video they show is blurry as hell. The one thing they love to do when they're trying to solve a case is identify niggas. So I don't understand.
Yeah, I just looked it up, right? It said the actual stabbing video, right, was introduced as evidence during the trial and was not broadly released to the public. But they're saying the jurors seen it. But I don't see where you could because I'm looking it up on Chat GPT. I don't see where you could see the video. Where can I? Because I think you could pay and go and see the video. Where can I see the video?
Pay where? Pay who?
I think it's on some sort of let me pull it up. I think it was on some
And
government
pay if
site.
you go see the video, bro.
Did y'all see the video?
That is
You
crazy.
ain't actually paying directly to see the video. It's like you paying for some sort of farm or some shit. Like I'm pulling it
Yes.
up right now. They
Yes.
had
Okay.
two people that seen the video and they talked about it,
Yes.
and
You had to fill out.
they describe a whole different scenario.
Look, there's a video out with the judge who presided over the case said that they set the example for the rest of the country. The rest of the country should follow that example of how they followed the case. And
Well, I'm a bum that.
he did suppress a lot of things. Y'all see the video. I don't know. I didn't try to save it, but yeah, I saw it. It's about a 30-minute video. And he said he wanted the case. He wanted the case to stay right there in their city because first thing he said out of his mouth, it was about the people. It was about the children. And that's going to trump the way people feel about it. White
Virgin,
people have empathy for white kids.
if we keep on letting them set the precedents, the people need to start making nice about them things, Virgin, because just the other day, a Chinese man shot a youth, right, and have a bag of story, and we don't know if we saw the story go. And then you have this thing now. Like, how much more people are half dead?
Are they going to be still patronizing their establishments? Are people still going to be buying from those places? They live in the community.
Farrakhan never do Million Man March one time. What happened to Million Man March? Why we can't have Million
Wait a
Man
minute,
March?
they're saying the video is leaked, bro.
Uh-oh.
Right, let me pull this shit up.
It's
Go on
legal.
X, bro. Go
Willie
on
D,
X.
Willie D covered it, right? It's on YouTube right here. I don't
Oh,
think
shit.
it's
Breaking news,
I don't
ladies
think it's clear enough to like get in trouble with YouTube. Right? As a matter of fact, let me put it on the Summer Jam. Summer Jam. Let me see. This is the most fullest.
and gentlemen, we have the video footage. This is the video footage of the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation that happened under the tent. You see this video? Now look at Carmelo. He's sitting there. Like you can't really see because it's really dark. The video is in 1K. This is not 4K, but it's in 1K. But you can see Carmelo Anthony sitting down, minding his business, looking up YouTube videos, and getting surrounded like a BT rap cipher. Look at it. You got to look real close. Look down there. You see this? He's surrounded like a BT rap cipher. This is crazy. This is breaking news. This is going to.
What do y'all think? Bullshit
I
or
don't
what?
know what's happening.
I
with
can't
that.
really see that, so
Yeah, I can't really see it good either, but it got let me pull the search up so you can see a couple of people that covered it. Some of them is bigger content creators, like Willie D covered it yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Looking like his I don't know. What do y'all think?
I'm trying to
It's
figure out
hard
what
to
you
tell,
want.
right?
Video. Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
So everybody out there had a bad camera that day, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I fuck with that. Or maybe the majority of the people who had cameras, they were, melanin deficient. So they had to stay on code. Who knows?
These is the couple of people. You see, I don't really, because Dane Calloway, he be talking some crazy shit sometimes. That's why I want to play his shit. But there's a couple, there's people that cover the two people that seen a different video. Let me see. Yeah,
I think you passed it already, though. It was up further. Go back up.
No, I was
'Cause
saying
there
that
was
they
a
want
guy-
to click on Willie D.
It's not that video. You were on another video where, like, she was talking to a guy in a shirt. A lady was interviewing a guy in a shirt. He was the one that was that guy. That
They
guy
tried
was
to
Said
do
Carmelo's
this
already
guy.
up under
They
there.
said
He's
this
under there
guy-
behind
And this is Dane Calloway. I was trying to not play Dane Calloway because he be adding tax on the information sometime, you know what I'm saying? But this is the actual guy that one of the guys that said they seen the video. He was actually on Freezy channel too. So sort of Freezy, no captivity, right? He was over there.
And he was describing the scene in detail with Freezy.
Yeah, he was. As a matter of fact, we could play. Let's play his part.
Start with T Sturdy.
Hi, my name is actually Tony Sturdivant.
No, but,
Again, I was one of the ones that saw the video. It's kind of bewildering that it doesn't align with the testimony that was presented. What I saw in the video was four. Keep your voice up. What I saw in the video was actually more than 4 kids. There were 6 kids.
Can you hold it? We can hold it. Okay. Yep. Hold it.
Yeah, there were actually 6 kids that walked up in the stadium. 2 splintered off. 4 went directly to Carmelo Anthony, and there was a brief conversation.
You're gonna start over. Sorry.
All right, start over.
Yeah. Let's clean this stuff. Keep your voice up.
All right. Yeah. So again, my name is Tony Sturdivant.
Whoa. He's instructing him like he's telling him, like he has to follow a script. The guy with the bow tie, keep your voice up. Like he's following the script. Now go ahead. Now start over. Giving him instructions. This is supposed to be a natural occurrence. You're not supposed to be guiding a person into how they're supposed.
What do y'all think?
No,
I
he's
think
just telling him how to speak into the mic. That's all he's doing. He's just trying to help him speak into the mic so he can be heard.
Yes, man.
White folks, y'all so scary.
to give their take at a so-called press conference. You're not supposed to be doing that, especially when you have a live mic. Is that the reason why we're only seeing clips of this? Interesting. See, this is the reason why I wanted to see the full video, and I have the full video.
Yeah. Let's clean this stuff. Keep your voice up.
Yeah, so again, my name is Tony Sturdivant. I was one of the individuals that put in a FOIA request to see the video. What I saw was starkly different from the testimony that I heard given in the trial. There were 6 kids that walked up, 2 splintered off. I guess that part of was introduced in the trial where they went to deflect the coach. The other 4 walked directly to Carmelo Anthony. There was a brief conversation, I say maybe 20, 30 seconds. And from there, a scuffle ensued. It didn't last long. Carmelo backed up the canopy. He looked one way, looked to the left, and flew down those bleachers. Now, this is the video that was presented to us. This is the questions that I have, though. Why wasn't that video presented in court? And is it the true video? Because, again, it's starkly different from the testimony given in the trial. Carmelo Anthony flew down those bleachers, fell at the bottom of the bleachers, got up, took off. It was maybe 2 or 3 kids that you can see kind of give chase, but Carmelo was gone, so they weren't even going to put a finger on him and touch him. Again, there was a scuffle that ensued at the top of the bleachers, and Carmelo got in there. But I don't know why that was not brought up in court. I don't know why that was shown. I don't know if the ISD gave us a bogus ass video. I don't know, but that's what I saw.
Interesting.
Hello, everybody. I'm an advocate for Carmelo Anthony. My name is T. And when I went to see the video, they asked if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before.
The information, I don't know why they're trying to abbreviate their names. Well, she said that her name is T. According to what I have, they're saying that her name is Tiffany Billions. I don't know why they're not trying to state their names here because...
Yeah, that's kind of sus if they ain't giving the, you know what I'm saying? If they ain't giving their names.
No, but why? But listen to what she just said though. Why them I ask you why them not just play the whole fucking video? Why them I ask you if you want to see before or after the stabbing?
Because it's a whole, and remember now, is like is a surveillance camera. It's like you watching somebody ring cam. Their ring cam was going all day. Where you gonna start from? You gotta have some sort of focal point unless you want to watch the 24-hour video.
But this is the thing though, right? We're not saying you have to watch a whole 24-hour video, but there must be a point of origin in the time lapse where you can take out, like, because that couldn't have been more than a 30-minute thing.
No, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. The altercation wasn't that long, right? It was a quick altercation. This is why they're asking you if you want to see like a couple of minutes before the altercation, if you want to see even way more context than when he's already in the frame.
Or after the stabbing.
Yeah, man. I don't think it showed the actual stabbing. I don't think you could actually see the shit.
Rewind a little bit and listen to what she said.
All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm an advocate for Carmelo Anthony. My name is T. And when I went to see the video, they asked if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before.
The information, I don't know why they're trying to abbreviate their names. Well, she said to her
2 minutes before or 11 minutes before, so you could see like even more context of the video. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're trying to see the environment, how what was going on, type shit. You know what I mean? It's a lot of video. It's a lot of footage.
But this is the thing though, and if them saying 11 minutes before, then that would mean like somebody have a conversation or somebody talk to somebody, and then it get an opportunity to escalate to that point.
Yeah, she actually watched the 11. She watched she watched the majority of the shit.
Okay.
her name is T. According to what I have, they're saying that her name is Tiffany Billions. I don't know why they're not trying to state their names here because I feel as though this is very important. If you actually saw something totally different and you're going to tell the public what you saw, I don't think you should be abbreviating your name or trying to hide your identity. This is very important.
Hello, everybody. I'm an advocate for Carmelo Anthony. My name is T. And when I went to see the video, they asked if you want to see it from either 2 minutes before the stabbing or 11 minutes before. So I chose 11 minutes. From the moment she pressed play, Carmelo Anthony was already sitting up underneath that canopy. And he was sitting there for at least 8 to 9.5 minutes. You see, well, I saw a boy in a black hoodie go over to him first, and then they left out of the tent. And then you see coming across the field was another 6 boys. When they got to the bleachers, one, he went out of frame, and the other one sat at the bottom. But the remaining 4, they went directly to Carmelo Anthony. And like T said before,
So you see what I'm saying? Is like if they want you to see close to the altercation or see the whole 8 minutes where Carmelo was just sitting there, just you know what I'm saying, doing nothing.
That's fair.
It was a brief conversation, and then all you see is commotion. And we know from the interviews that Hunter did, we know that Hunter was, in fact, up underneath that tent. The next thing you see, you can see Carmelo in the midst of them assaulting him. You can see Carmelo trying to back out, but he gets pulled back forward. The next thing you see is Carmelo, he comes shooting out the back, but he's still not standing. And he had to like kind of crab crawl backwards, and he had to like jerk away from them because they still had a hold of his hoodie. He goes up a couple bleachers and he's looking around for which way to go. He runs diagonally down the bleachers and then he falls. At the time of him falling, that's when I noticed another 3 boys coming down the bleachers chasing after him. But once Carmelo got up, he took off. You didn't see him for the rest of the video. At no point in that video do you see Hunter holding his brother. At no point in that video do you see those boys ever going back to the tent and sitting down. That was all a lie. And I also have questions. I don't know how the defense did not play that video. Because when you see that video, it was self-defense. Carmelo was only 5'8", 130-something pounds, and Austin and Hunter Metcalf were 6'1", 200.
What do y'all think?
Self-defense. That's a clear case of self-defense. You're getting ran down by 3-4 niggas, and you just have so happy.
But can y'all see it? Can y'all read the I don't know, the credibility of the woman based on what she's saying? I'm trying to figure out if y'all buy what she's saying.
It's not that I buy that what she's saying. I'm taking her word that she's accurately describing what she's seen in a video, what she is interpreting. I'm taking her word for it because I haven't seen this video.
So you believe that she's seen a video?
Yes, because several people describing the same video.
No, they actually describe a different video. Just her and this dude talking about the same video.
No, the guy that was before her is the same video that they watch.
Yeah, the two of them seen the same video, but other people have seen a different video in the courtroom.
So what video did they see in the courtroom?
Yeah,
they seen that one that we just saw, but the only thing was they were showing it. They had to have somebody point out what was going on, type shit. Because I couldn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, me neither. That was confusing.
Yeah.
You came off the most honest out of everybody I heard.
But that's the thing. She wearing these shades. Like, I don't know, bro. This whole story, it had so much.
Yeah, DJ.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, fuck up though.
I'm not trusting no female. If you can't keep your hairline together, if you ain't figured out, come on, you ain't got no evidence. I can't believe that you say. I'm not trying to be petty, but
ain't shit.
hairline and some edges as a female before I'm trying to hear what you're saying and take its credibility, because I feel like you didn't care about your own life and your scalp. You shouldn't be up here on the camera.
She's older. Come on. She's
older. What? No, creative. No, she's not that old. She's not. When did that mean you can't have a hairline?
Let that woman live her best life. It is what it is.
Right. When you talking in the camera in front of people, take the glasses off so we can see what your eyes doing. Just like everybody up here. If I want to put my shades on, I can. But for the most part, other than
open your eyes again. Let me see. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Let me see something. Do this.
Nobody talks like that.
Take out the contact so that we can see you realize.
Nobody talks like this unless
I don't trust nobody with green contact lenses in.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but you can
still
see my retinols and you can
no,
still
I don't trust. I don't trust you. I don't trust it.
You just want to be difficult. You just want to be difficult. But no, if you're gonna come on live television with camera footage and millions and millions of people watching this stream, you should need to face the camera. She should be facing the camera.
What if she was crying? What if she was
put them on when she get done talking?
What if she was crying because of the injustice? You know what I'm saying?
Then be crying on the screen. Give it all up. Okay.
Like for some reason though, the first guy looked a little more trustworthy than her though, even though they seen the same video. You know what I mean? He had glasses on. He wasn't hiding. He didn't really come on.
Okay, hold on.
Man got the button up polo. He looked
button up
trustworthy.
holder.
I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
He looked like he can hold the money and not run away.
So you
Right.
gotta look like something. You gotta go in your closet, dress up before you come on camera. You
Yeah,
can't just-
but no, they do tell you what to wear for shit like court and shit, like colors to come off more innocent and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like bright colors.
Whatever. I
No,
can't
they
with
do tell you
y'all.
that shit. They
Yeah,
do tell you that
okay.
shit.
And they teach you how not to look like a hoodlum.
Like a
People look like
tattletale.
hoodlums every day. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you know what's messed up? They told I think that's why they told Carmelo Anthony cut his hair off. But I think having hair on his head made him look more like a kid than him with his shaved head. That mugshot, that shit look like some slavery shit, bro.
Yep.
I seen that shit.
But why they make him shave his head though?
Because they probably is like a majority white area. You know what I'm saying? White people doing like nappy hair, you know what I'm saying? I guess the lawyers them advising.
It's not just that it's
That's
nappy,
a
but you got-
violation, you know.
it was unkept. If you're gonna wear these styles and be in your natural form, you have to maintain it and keep it up. You just can't come out here looking like a jungle bunny. You just can't come popping out here with cuckabugs.
It don't matter. DC, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Fashion police, the hair
You
police.
gotta tame it, baby.
What are we
No,
doing?
It
no,
don't
we
matter.
ain't. We're not
I don't necessarily agree with that shit because like some of the most trustworthy people is the people like, especially like back where I'm from, is the most trustworthy people that don't even be grooming themselves like that because they ain't trying to set you up for the okie doke, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they just come in as they are. So I think, I don't know.
No, ain't no come as you are. If you're not washing your scalp, you cannot be trusted. I
I
don't know.
wouldn't use the language don't groom themselves. I just say it's a different.
That's crazy. The city
I
is
would
not
say it's a
watching.
different way of life.
You don't think she's the hair police today?
You're
Because I don't like giving black natural hair that type of vibe. That's one of the reasons why I purposely rock my hair how I rock it, so I could attract people that fuck with my type of vibe. This is why the type of chicks that I fuck with, they fuck with that type of natural vibe. So I don't really have issues when dealing with it.
Be kept up, DJ. So you're not washing your dreads at all.
I wash my hair almost every week. Sometimes
Okay,
I
so
might
that's what we're
skip a
talking about.
week.
You do keep it up, and your scalp is clean. So what are you saying? So
No, but we can't tell that his scalp was not clean. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You can tell that DJ washes hair. We don't
and plus
know
his
that.
shit is shorter. I know he washes his shit every day. If my shit was that short, I would have washed it more often. My shit take too long to dry and shit. But I don't think his shit was I don't think his shit was dirty, man. You know what I'm saying?
I
regardless of-
but I said it was unkept.
Regardless of
them kids just edge up and they have the hair rough and shit, but just the edge up be, you know what I mean?
Yeah, DJ hair probably look dingy. He probably, you know, we don't know if he washes hair.
Wait, I washed my hair. I just washed my hair like literally 2 days ago. That's why I had it done and shit. It was wet.
This is my locks, and look at that. Not one speck of dirt. This is where them cut it from. Not one speck of dirt.
This is my locks. My shit is brand recently washed and shit. You know?
Lock from back in the day, so we can look at it and that doesn't mean it was clean like that before.
No, but you guys think, but I wash my locks on a regular. It's the same thing. They used to annoy me because it take long to dry.
You're
But
just walking
on
around
a
with a ball
regular-
of hair. That's what this is.
What this?
Yeah.
May I have it in our bag?
Yeah, let's see your locks.
How long you gonna keep that?
You taking your hoodie off, or you put it back down lower? You put your hoodie back up. You pushed it down.
Kind of creepy, but
I'm
okay.
just that's how I be creeping.
I don't know where it is right now, but I got it in the bag
Look,
somewhere.
man, that's how I be creeping. I never been on no pretty boy activities in my entire life. I just always
that, boy?
kept it rugged and shit. Like since I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? It's just you know, it just
Maybe
worked out.
pretty boy
It worked
activity.
out for me.
I feel like you have fling shot, you know. Yeah, I mean, pretty boy.
DJ don't want us to see the.
No, I'm
parts
not
of his
saying.
hair.
Wait. I'm not throwing no shots at nobody. I don't think none of y'all is pretty. What the fuck? Don't keep me
DJ,
away,
you don't
you
want
know
us
what I
to
mean?
see the parts of your hair. It's okay.
Why do I gotta show you the parts of my hair? My girl washed my hair yesterday. Detox it with what you call it. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta show you my hair, like, you know what I mean? You say that you dress for you. You don't dress for no man and shit like that. I gotta appease to you. You know what I'm saying?
187. What else you got in your pocket? You got hair. You got any body parts?
Yeah,
or
come find out, no? Come
used
search me.
condoms. What else you want to show us?
Used condoms is crazy.
Hanging on to, because that was really creepy.
Hit me in my
Got
DMs.
a ball of hair.
Hit me in my DMs. I'll show you everything.
You know what? That's one of the most respectable shit I've seen on panels. Because sometimes people take up the whole panels and they be flirting with each other and everybody else be spectating. So sliding in the DMs, I fuck with that shit.
No, but it's disrespectful to keep it going though. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah, let's
Like
do that.
those.
Or whatever the plans are.
The money that I heard given in the trial, there were 6 kids that walked up, 2 splintered off. I guess that part of was introduced in the trial where they went to deflect the coach. The other 4 walked directly
I think
to
we
Carmelo
watched
Anthony.
this. We watched this part already.
I'll be right back.
I was starting to feel like I was being used for my influence and my connections and resources.
On June 9th.
So yeah, I think we watched. I forgot where we was at with it, right? We did watch both of them shit, right? So I don't know how credible the people is that say they watched the video. I don't know why the judge won't show like a video in something so serious as like being accused of like deleting somebody. So I'm not sure how real it is, you know what I'm saying? I seen credible people covering it, Willie D and all these people with bigger platforms, but I just don't know, man. Yeah, man.
Man, this kid was set up from the beginning, man, from everybody top to bottom. Even when they showed his little head shave, why they had to have the man head shaved like he was a maniac? Why couldn't they give him a nice little low fro with the sideburn trimmings, man? He looked crazy the way they had him set up, man. And to me, man, you sorry, man. It was an accident, man. You if you want life, then you have to at least show empathy, show some remorse. You know, they didn't set him up to play in on the weight of, you know.
You know what? I was watching this lawyer talking about the case, right? And one thing he was saying that the family fucked up in, they should have shown more sympathy for the other family. Because a lot of times we think things is about how it is. But sometimes people are shallow-minded and it is about how things look. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it, his family, they probably was remorseful. They say how he didn't show no emotions in court. Like this young man took a life. The nigga probably numb. He probably got to see therapy. That's why you can't read his emotions like that. But they don't know is about perception. So because the dad, he came like he was letting putting out an olive branch. Maybe his legal team advised him to do that. But they wasn't thinking about the optics and how shit look. And a lot of times we do ourselves a disservice by not thinking about how shit look, because most people go by how shit look rather than how shit actually is. You know what I mean?
DJ, if somebody took your son out and they can, and a teen, my son took out your son, and I'm trying to show some empathy, would you accept my apology in your face, face to face, or would you look at it as I'm trying to mock you?
It'll be hard for me to
maybe not in that moment, but maybe 6 months to a year later, would you sort of be open to?
I could be if it depending on how it was going down between us, right? I could be, especially if you're remorseful and empathetic. I could be, you know what I'm saying? But at the moment when it starts, I wouldn't be, because even though you didn't do it, I would still look at you as part of it. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally, I would have think like that. You know what I mean? And shout out
Yeah,
to El Chipo in the building. What's up, Chipo?
because
Shout out to the cool white people, but we don't mess with the crackers.
facts. Crackers beat them up, blooded their nose, give them black eyes. That makes you look good on your fist game, but hey.
But the crazy thing about it, bro, is not even because I never expected the kid to get off scotch free. Somebody lose their life, right? I wasn't expecting him to get off completely free, right? But it's the court of public opinion, right, that painting this man as a demon, bro.
Of course.
Like there's little niggas in my neighborhood that be on way more demon time than this dude, bro. And they still good kids. It's just that they might just do some knucklehead, just dumb shit. They're kids, you know what I'm saying? This he ain't even on that shit. He actually saved somebody's life from drowning. You know what I'm saying? He ain't even on no, he never got into no trouble. He's actually one of these well-to-do people that these uppity people be talking about. And he made one mistake and they cast him to the wayside, bro. That shit is crazy.
But DJ, listen, and this is me, and I'm gonna shut up, right? I'm a father. There's no way, for one, I don't care how much money you're gonna offer me to intentionally move my family into a known racist town. The hell with that job. I can get another job, right? And when they're in their comfort zone, you the only nigga that around. You don't think they calling you nigga all day? You don't think that white boy that looking at that white girl that like you, you don't think he gonna be mad and call you a nigga? He was dealing with that already. So
let me ask you this: how would they know that it's a racist tongue?
Because it's known. The people they'll let you know sundown town. They let you know what time it is in America cities. You stay over, nigga. You don't be down here. They let you know. They don't
I live
hide it.
in Georgia, and I can't even tell you which ones is the sundown tongues or not, bro.
Until you go there. When you hear about it, saying people hear about it. People go, hey man, I wouldn't go through that town if I was you. Why? And that's the thing. People, they give you signs.
I don't think people know that shit when they buying cribs and shit like that.
And the kids gonna let you. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. People don't do their research. But it's
Most
the time.
people see white people and they think it's a good neighborhood. Most people is not seeing white people and thinking it's gonna be racist. You can't come out when the sun is down. Like,
so why they even complain when white people show up to be racist? They let you know. These people, you go look in the store. Damn, ain't no niggas working here. Oh man, ain't nobody at the McDonald's. Oh man, ain't nobody at the car. Everybody white. That should give you some suspicion right there. You like everywhere you go, the school janitor white. Like, hold up, they ain't hiring. But again, it's clues. People just don't pay attention to it because we want to move up like George and
but a
Weezy.
lot of people. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people look at that as moving up, as putting their kid in a safer environment. A lot of people do look at it like that. Oh, this school don't need metal detectors. Fuck it. A lot of people do look at it like that, bro.
Oh well.
I think the difference is hi everybody, how you doing? I think the difference is descendants of slaves here in America and immigrants. We all black, right? But I think there's a difference in thinking because people who are descendants of slaves in America, we know how this white man get down. Yeah. You know, you ain't got to, ain't no investigation needed. But when we dealing with immigrants, I understand it's no disrespect, but I understand that y'all come in here. It's like, the land of the free and all of that foolishness. But descendants of slaves, we know how this white man get down. So
we have slavery.
I think that's what he's talking about.
Yes,
we had slavery in Jamaica to do. I don't get your point.
Yeah, but it's not the same though. No disrespect to slavery in Jamaica. It's not the same.
What I would say is this, right? We had slavery in the Caribbean, but after slavery, white people left for the most part.
Okay,
in Jamaica
white people left.
Wait a minute. I got you.
So you just said it there, brother.
I got you, Trinity. I got you. I'm not disagreeing with you. Just let me land, right? So after slavery, white people left and went to where they was from. But in America, white people stayed And in order for white people to stay, they gotta be the upper class and they gotta keep oppressing black people over here. So in the Caribbean, after slavery, we ain't had to deal with white people. Who we had to deal with is the other indentured immigrants like the
Right.
Chinese, the Indian, and
Right.
we
So
and
you
them had to
agreeing with me.
compete.
So
Yeah, I'm
you
not
so we
disagreeing with you. I'm
basically
just
agreeing. You're just saying you're just talking at this point.
no, this is my show, right? And I'm running my
Well, I
show
know
and
because I came
also
up here. I mean, it's clear.
right. And you and 187 was having a disagreement, and I was just bringing
Yeah,
some
and you
clarity.
interrupted me.
I was just bringing some clarity. I was more so talking to him than you. I was just bringing some clarity. You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate the clarity. Thank you very much.
And I appreciate the clarity, but what I'm saying is, it wasn't what I just said was not for disrespect you. It was to bring more clarity to understanding. Is that it's it's a
Appreciate the
culture
clarity.
issue. You know what I'm saying? We're all black. I get that, but it's a different culture. You have to understand that black people, descendants of slaves in America, it's not to negate your slavery in Jamaica, but we had a different type of slavery in America. So there's a different culture, and we have a different perspective, and we have a different understanding. So that's what all I was trying to say. It was not to disrespect you or to negate, what you went
I
through
think
in your
that's
country.
disrespect. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
take that.
that's all I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to bring understanding and clarity to our perspective. That's all.
Okay.
That's fair.
Thank
Because
you.
like DJ, you said something very critical. In your country, they left and went back. In our country, they told us to get out.
I
Or they
don't
try
think
to
they
keep
ever.
you in a lower class.
You're
You
not,
I
know,
don't think.
you don't belong here.
like where I'm from, the Indian people, the Middle Eastern Indians who was working on the sugar plantation, they try to keep black people on a lower class, but it's not easy for them to do it because they ain't had as much of a head start as the Europeans had in America. So it's easier for white people to keep you on a lower class, the black class, because it started off as a class, just like white. Irish and everybody wasn't in the white class until later on. You know what I'm saying? It started off as a class instead of just being like just straight up race and shit.
I can't tell you why them never leave, right? Because Jamaica is still run by the British monarch. They have a governor general sit above the prime minister. Governor general get him orders from the British royalty. I don't know if it's a similar thing in Guyana,
Yeah,
but in that sense, they never left.
yeah. They never left. They just it's just remote control basically,
Mhm.
because they still get heavy influence on import and export.
Yep.
They still own different mining companies. As a matter of fact, we got a lot of American intervention too because we got who's that? We got they found oil between Guyana and Venezuela, right? And it had
What's that, bro?
yeah, and we because we ain't got the infrastructure to deal with no oil, we have, you know what I'm saying? America had to come through, and American company, I think is something with M, is who making all the most of the money from the oil and shit like that. So that's how third world countries and shit like that stay how they be, because some countries got the resources and the other countries got the infrastructure to make the paper from the resources. You know what I'm saying?
But this is the thing, Zin, because infrastructure can be made. Instead of coming in and try to take over the people resources, why not give them the infrastructure what them need for do them own thing, and then you can purchase what you need from them.
But look at it. Look at this. The person who doing that is not a government. It's not like the American government is a company doing that shit. And companies is about making profit. They're not trying to like. If it's a government, now you got more responsibility to not fuck up economies and shit. But if you a company, your reputation is based on you making profit and shit. So a lot of companies don't care about that shit, bro.
But when the US having elections, where you think them get the election money from? And the campaign
From the
money?
companies that fund the different parties. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
But not to negate not to negate no like experience of like black people in America. I just ain't grew up in America. You know what I'm saying? So like my first interactions with white people is when I move here. Because before I moved to America, I didn't even know a white person. You know what I'm saying? I just know about them in the books, like about slavery and shit like that, because we had a history of slavery. But I didn't grow up seeing like white people like that. I could count the amount of white people I see, and I never known one personally until I moved to America. You know what I'm saying?
I went to me go sc- I go went to school with them, like some, but it was never no racist thing. As you said, the only time I experienced racism, the first time when I was 16, I go to military school in Georgia. I was in the mall and somebody said something, but that was the first time, and it's like it never hit me in a psychological way. I was more looking at the person like, "What happened to the brother?" and just kept on going on my way.
What about racism between other races in Jamaica, like Indian, Chinese?
Not really, because oh my mother grew me. I will say yes, some people are privy to that, but my mother more radical. Like she never grew with a bit subjugated by them kind of ideology. So if I me being 16 years old now experience something like that, it not even gonna affect me to the way where I gonna take it personal. I gonna look at this person like, what the fuck is your problem, and just keep it moving, get away from it.
Mm. I would say is a lot of racism between black people and Indian people in Guyana. You know what I'm saying? To where almost every election is two major party. One party is the predominantly black party, and the other party is a predominantly Indian party, and that'd be the two main party every election. To where it be having riots and shit. Like every other election, we be having martial law and shit like that, bro. We be on curfew because of shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Do y'all have
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of racial tension. My bad. What you say, Chris?
do y'all have a lot of Venezuelans in your country?
Yeah, that flee from Venezuela, but Venezuela don't mess with where we from Guyana.
Yeah, I was just asking.
Okay.
Like on the border, if you go to the border right now, they'll definitely shoot you from Venezuela, because it's literally forces they're making sure that they don't come across the border and we don't go across the, because it's oil between our borders. That whole land there is oil, and they trying to claim that our territory is more over on their territory. As a matter of fact, this is one of the reasons why America had to intervene with that shit too. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people was getting that shit was on the news like for months in Guyana. People was getting killed, all types of shit.
Okay. I'm gonna say something that's probably going to be a little bit,
Controversial.
Go ahead.
So I just want to prep y'all for a second. Um, I am a pattern recognizer. That's the only thing, the way I can describe it, right? I recognize patterns, and so what I'm recognizing here is the elephant in the room that nobody is really seeing. It's a big fat elephant in the room. In all our different countries, in all our different cultures and different languages, and we're calling it one big different thing, but it's really the same thing. Is what's going on. We're all suffering from what we call in America called white supremacy, which is actually white inferiority. So basically, we got these white people that's come and into our country, black people's countries, and overtook the countries with violence and use violence and terrorism to and wage war against black people. Okay, in our different countries, and call it a million different things. Okay, and change your name, change your religion, change everything, and we're all fighting against each other because we're all black. We can clearly see we're all black, but we're fighting the same animal, the same virus. Basically, we're dealing with a virus that's basically invading us in different ways and calling it different names. And because we speak in different languages, and we're fighting each other, but we're not fighting what's actually happening to us. And I'm gonna end it there and let y'all take it from there.
You are absolutely right. And let me agree with you by saying this. The mere fact that you started your statement by separating us by saying, the immigrants and the American descendants of slaves, instead of just looking at all of us as prisoners of war, is a point of separation. We need to stop thinking like that. You were subjugated. Your ancestors were my ancestors. The whole of we as one. That is how we're gonna get past this thing. Because if we keep on thinking about ourselves like FBA and Tether and all of these different things that separate us instead of unite us, that is how they keep winning. 'Cause I don't know where these fucking terms come from. What is a Tether? Who starts saying that?
I do think sometimes, all right, let's say we all up here, right? We all to get on this panel, we all panelists. But then Beachy, Creative, and Trinity, I think she dropped down. Her connection probably bad too. And by the way, my connection is bad. This is why my shit's freezing. We got bad weather right now. I think Trinity she down here too, so she probably getting the bad weather, right? But if we talking about all of us up here, we're gonna specify. We're gonna say Beachy and Creative is women, or we'll say you and Ferg is light skin, or we'll say me and Rice got locks. You know what I'm saying? But still, we might gotta differentiate when we being specific. So I think sometimes when like Black people in America being specific, I think the FBA ADOS thing is what's being used now instead of like Black American, because like I could probably be I'm Black and I'm in America, so it's like, but I'm still not like, you know, I ain't born up here. So I think that's what was it about. But the Tether shit, that is a straight shot. That's straight somebody busting shot at you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But where that ideology come from, though, and it's not even like
it come from specifying to give reparation, because the reparation is a specific reparation. It's not like a everybody reparation. So it was it's like surgery. It's just some surgery shit, bro. It's just surgery.
But that again, that the reparation thing is another point. If we separated even on that front, because look at it, Zine, them will do a census in Texas and say 500,000 black people in Texas, and then 500,000 black people here. So you're not gonna say, oh, is 50 million black people all across the United States, because that is more unifying. You don't get numbers like that. Then why them break down statistics? And then statistics is another devil again. Statistics are
what I would say, right? I think staying on the division, that is problematic. But sometimes we gotta separate a thing to talk about a thing. You know what I'm saying? See, if we're talking about let's say we all up here, right? And somebody throw dirt on Coach Ferg's name, right?
Damn, what I mean?
And now he gotta sue them. But all of us trying to say, yeah, we suing him. We mightn't get no money because the person in this all of us, and we might lose the case. But if we just be like, yo, Ferg, yeah, we did see when he said that shit to Ferg and we join in, he could get his bread and we could get trickle-down benefits from that shit. Or when it's our turn to get our bread that we get in sue for, we might want to jump in front of a car right quick and finesse a little bit of bread.
That's different.
Shit. He gonna jump in and back us from getting the bread from the niggas them who car bread we trying to get from.
That's different, bro, because here what now? Coach Ferg was the one that was violated, right? And we have to come together in his defense. Yeah, you are the one you are the sacrificial lamb. Just bear with it.
Light skin God, we here, baby.
But look on this though, right? That is something that just happened to him. It's not something that happened to all of it. If it's something that happens to all of us now, that different, bro.
You gotta remember the dehumanization of black people was global. But when it comes to slavery, specific people had different slave shit going on, bro. The Portuguese had their own shit. The British had their own shit. So they didn't come together to have one bread. They all got their own profit. So they all got to pay their own separate reparations.
What?
It wasn't slavery. The bread up.
But look on this now, bro. The slavery, whether them was coming to America, going up to Portugal, or wherever them was going, it is called a transatlantic slave trade.
Right.
Is what I said.
Slavery was a business, and companies owned these slave ships. You know, companies, bro. This shit is like legit business. Somebody actually owes your family directly because it was a business, and because wherever country you landed at, your labor built that shit. That is why you deserve bread, because you could look at the shit that your labor built, but it's specific to wherever your ancestors was enslaved at, bro.
So look on this. You're saying that it was a business, right? I think
Yeah.
it, in my opinion, it is a criminal enterprise, and I am not the one that is saying this.
Criminal enterprise is still a business, bro. It's just an
Hold on,
illegal business.
hold on, now. Hear me out. The United Nations General Assembly come together and make a binding resolution. 123 countries come together and said that the transatlantic slave trade was the gravest crime against humanity.
Yeah.
You see what I say, bro? And then 3 countries out of the 123, 3 countries try say no, we oppose it. United States, Argentina, and it is real. No, looking apart from that now, you are saying that this thing was classified as a business when it was running. The
When it was
criminal
legal.
when it was
legal.
Hold on, you're right. The criminal will always find a way to facilitate his crime. But, however, it is just passed by 123 countries agree. So this was a crime that took place. We
Right.
can no longer look at this as a business enterprise. It's a criminal enterprise.
Look at this. You trying to wait a minute, Rice. You trying to say that the people them who was doing the enslaving and who profited is one giant entity? They not.
Yes.
They are their own thing, bro.
No, Bridget.
So how you gonna get the money? So how you gonna get the money, bro? So if you get in an accident, bro, is a specific play. Everybody on the road don't gotta pay you. Everybody that's not how it work, bro. Is a specific geographical location profited from your free labor. That is where you owe it from the free labor, not
But
from
these are-
just them capturing you as a slave. It's from the labor, bro. It's from the actual work your ancestors did.
It was all interchangeable.
It's
It
not,
was all
that is not the point. The point is that the,
And you
yes,
know what's
is they
crazy
were
too?
put-
107. Let me just say this here. A lot of them people who had slaves, they was warring with each other. So how they pooling the bread to pay everybody? They not even fucking with each other.
That's not necessarily so that they was fighting like that. right?
the
It was-
dynamics. Where I say start coach Ferg. So
I'm just saying it's all part of the commerce thing, trade. Listen, I got a group of niggas I can send over there, and we can get some honey cane, or we can get some of this what we need. It was all interchangeable. They didn't look at us as people. We were products. We were products. That's why you got these, especially to the islands. It was more chaos in the islands. How they did people on the island.
They classified you as 3/5 of a man.
But not everybody that went to an island came to America. Some went to other places of the world where those people who needed labor bring in the Negro with the big nose, let him do the labor, and then we're not even going to allow. Listen, and I'll shut up. How is it that everywhere in the world, they only want to equate our, history to Africa, and in America, we have no existence of ever going anywhere other else in the world, and didn't leave our mark.
Can I ask? Have you ever seen a slave ship in a museum anywhere?
Nowhere. You'll never see none.
So this is my question now, right? Let me prove to you. Let me prove to you why all black people originate from Africa. The first set of boat were ever created, and you can go Google this, come out of ancient Egypt, out of Africa. Them tie some log together, right? They develop the first principles of buoyancy. At a later date, them develop the first ships we can voyage on the ocean. African people circumnavigate the globe and go and find other people and teach them things, and them take things and make for them own culture, right? We don't see none of them slave ship, not one slave ship. But we can go back and look at these things in stone, what our ancestors them do. There is something that the Americans them don't know. when Christopher Columbus come to America, people was already there living life. This is called the other slavery. When him come there and see a bunch of black people, not just mix up with the Native American them as you know them capture them. They were prisoners of war too. All of you, don't take my word for it, you know. It is there. It is called the other history. You can go look it up. And then the 450,000 people that they actually managed to bring across the transatlantic slave trade to America, the ones them that never did off, they just added to that was already there.
You say 450,000.
And also, Ferg, it's a blessing to be from Africa. Like, I feel like this narrative, which I've heard it frequently in the last like 10 years of, oh, Black people came from other places. Why would we want to come from any other place? Like, Africa is the motherland. This idea,
ever know.
I'm so sorry.
If you ever know how much our culture them take, you know what a Jedi is? Or you know who Jedi is? DJEDI?
I don't know
so much our history and fuck it up. Sorry.
But no, I'm sorry. But it's a blessing to be from Africa. That's why, like, when people tell me, like, oh, we're not African, we're Indian, I'm like, oh, I want to be African. Like, who wouldn't want to come from the motherland where the first human was ever discovered? The most abundant and, like, resource-rich place in the world. That's why Black people are so special, because we didn't have to be savages because there was enough for everybody. That's why our skin is so special, because we literally evolved in the sun. Our hair evolved in the sun. So, like, I get I get the narrative, but I've heard it before. And I'm just going to say that, like, it's a narrative that comes from people who don't want you to be proud to be from Africa, because they want you to be embarrassed of Africa so that they can go and steal what Africa has to offer. Be proud of it, dude. Like, it's awesome.
But this is the thing about
we did spread all
the swindlers will be out there though. They got the swindlers in Africa.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. I'm saying that as a heads up, but it's everything you're saying is 100,000% true, 1,000,000,000% true.
I think people should be proud of descending from Africa, yeah, but you should be proud of where you at too. You know what I'm saying? You should be, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I call myself a Black American. And don't get me wrong, like, I am proud to be Black, period. There are Black people all over this world. But we came from Africa. But I'm proud of that. But I'm also proud of my unique Black heritage. And it took me, like, seeing other people with Black heritage who were not from America, but from different parts. You know, like, you have proud Black Caribbean people. You have proud Black people from South America, the freaking Brazilians, right? And so that's what it took for me to realize, like, holy smoke, I'm Black American. We have our own culture that's pretty badass, and it's beautiful. You know, like, I go to Carnival and I wave my American flag around like I'm having a seizure, you know, like, I'm Black American. I love it. I couldn't think of another word, DJ. Don't shrug your eyebrows. But, like, I do, you know, because, like, being Black is beautiful, but all the other places that we branched off to, no matter where we go, we are going to thrive. We're going to make it. And that's what makes so many different Black, beautiful cultures. And so I'm proud to be Black. I'm proud to be Black American, and I love these other Black cultures. And yeah.
To be honest with you, the thing about this whole race thing too, is kind of funny, because when I talk to a lot of the biracial people in the chat or on different panels and shit, they kind of see race different than a person who got one race, who's not multiracial. Because, like, let's say somebody got a Black mom and a white dad or vice versa. They as much black as they are white. Sure, phenotypically they might look a certain way depending on which genes is more dominant, but they still voted that shit. So how could they be a person that, you know what I'm saying? How could they be partial? That's why a lot of them be seeming crazy, but that's because they kind of impartial to the shit because they voted that shit. You know?
Yes.
But no. I don't really know.
So it's not a fixed thing. Race is not fixed. What if somebody mixed with two people that mix with two different race? Now what race is, you know what I'm saying?
My mother mixed with Chinese. My mother last name is Chin. Me black. And nobody can tell Miss Chin that she's not
This
black.
nigga Bruce Leroy Marley.
I am a nigga Chin. Nothing wrong with that. But I can lean because somebody tell me that the one drop rule. So you make the rules, I gotta follow the rules. Can't tell
The
me
white
something
man
like
made that up. But again, the Moors, they were already circumnavigating the world in prior to. A lot of the stuff Columbus had to make was stolen from what black people were already doing. And they tried to totally disconnect us modern people from that. They that's what they did. That was just part of the dynamic to say, hey, they know how genius we were. They know how innovative we were. Even today, we make up stuff off of scraps. We know that we can fix shit and make it work without no instructions. So that's who we are, and they don't want people to really connect with that.
Well, you definitely need instructions, man. You definitely need.
I'm not like you 80s baby, 80s born babies. Listen, I didn't go to no school left behind. I read a civics book. Y'all don't know what a civics book is. I had science, and I know Beachy know, where we had to deal with real test tubes, where we had to really, really deal with fire in school. Y'all had to read about it. And
I don't
some old books be some of the best books.
Yes, the real shit. I'm just being funny.
This nigga Coach Ferg is one of them back in my days type niggas. You know?
No, but I've been in the school system for the last 25 years, and I've seen how the dumbing down of American black men because they know black kids are instinctively smart. All of these,
If you say black kids sit up straight before other kids and shit like that. I heard that shit.
Yes, but
and also, can I just say something to Ferg's point? And this is going to sound like really radical, but I know it to be true. I learned it. I didn't come up with it. But that's the reason why black people made such good slaves. You know how you hear like, shut up, DJ. Let me finish my point.
This her daddy's side of the family talking.
No, listen.
Like, what? What are we doing?
Just rock with me. Just rock with me. Rock with me to the end of my point, and then you can judge me. You ever hear how like black people weren't the first slaves? Yes, right? The thing is that we weren't. People from the Caucasus Mountains tried to enslave so many people. Like being a slave was a normal thing. But the thing is that, no. 187, just rock with me.
I'm letting you talk. I want to challenge what you're saying though, because I have the knowledge and information.
Okay, sorry. So the thing is that other people were not resilient enough to survive slavery. You can literally read about it. It was like other people.
That's not a badge of honor. Like
it is a badge of honor. It absolutely is. Because who's the only race in the world where in only 300 years they went from being a slave to being the president? It's a badge of honor to be this resilient, and I'm proud of it. Other people were not resilient enough to be slaves. When you made other people slaves, it would be like a whole genocide, or they would die of sickness, or they would die of exhaustion. Black people were so resilient that they survived slavery. My ancestors survived slavery. And even though every other race in the world was a slave, I'm one of few who can say my ancestors survived that shit.
Oh, y'all just summon 18 letter. Y'all know he love himself.
Yeah, he about to go in.
But let me.
Do you guys get what I'm saying?
Let me.
I'm here.
You call me old. Like let's
Beachy.
stay in your category of whatever years. Beachy ain't old, okay?
Beachy.
So don't be
You're-
slick trying
Beachy.
to somebody.
No. See, Beachy, you and your feelings in the chat, Beachy, because you can relate because you Gen X. So stop it. You Gen X. You Gen X. So you stop. You know. You Gen X.
No, I don't understand.
I just want to tell
You ain't
myself
Gen
that
X?
is not a badge of
like,
honor.
No.
It is in a sense, right?
18
Because
letter.
our families survived that. Our families became more innovative and creative. You know what I'm saying? Despite that. So the fact that we are here today.
Okay, Coach Berg, what has that done for us?
Some overcome.
No. Listen, people
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let Coach land and let Coach
the
land.
people, the first generations out of that, you remember they built Black Wall Streets all over the world, all over America with little to nothing. They the one built the foundation. Then the silence, the 1930s and 40s and 50s niggas was born, and they just got in the way and never moved. The Martin Luther Kings them of the world, Al Sharptons of the world, they got in the way and never let nobody else move to the top. We seen it out throughout our history. I was born in 68, 2 months after they killed Dr. King. They had already killed most black men before the age of 40. Fred Hampton, these dudes was in their early 20s doing things beyond the modern era man has ever done as young people, is all I'm saying. So to come up from that, and when you go look at the history of what we use in America, 99% of it was invented by a black man because white man wasn't going to invent anything to make niggas' life easier.
This sounds like keep oppressing us so we could be
No.
more.
No, let me ask you this, creative. What is wrong with them? What is wrong with celebrating resilience? It's like let's say somebody wasn't like they made it out of the ghetto and now they live in the non-ghetto. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's great.
It's not like they glorifying the ghetto. It's like they glorifying how they survive. So I don't think it's nothing wrong with glorifying their resilience, but it's not like you're trying to glorify slavery. I don't think that's the same thing.
Yeah, but saying that we held you down and you was captive, but you was the good slave. You made up all these inventions to make the work easier.
Oh, creative. I think you
well,
I see what you're saying.
Can I
see what she's saying, but you seen it from like more like the glass half empty lens. They celebrating how you survive, because you got to remember everybody who's alive today that's black, you had to come from the strongest of strong because they bred our family, and a lot of people ain't even made it till today. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they're talking about celebrating, not the fact that it happened, but the fact that the survival happened.
We wasn't meant to survive.
Yeah, and creative, I misspoke. So I can see where you're coming from. I can see how it sounds like, oh, you're a good slave. Like, okay, I misspoke. Allow me to correct myself. Like, not that we were like good little slaves, but more so that like the reason why slavery with us worked for the monster is because we didn't die off. With other people, it was like they would always die off due to that brutality or that disgusting disease or that XYZ. But Black people are so resilient that slavery lasted under their reign for longer than it ever did. That's what I'm trying to say. And the reason why it lasted so long is because of how resilient Black people are. So
you took it like a champ. You took it like a champ. For sure.
Yeah, like not only did we take it like a champ, but it's like we thrived and we got out of that shit. I honestly, and guys, I didn't do well in history. I'm pretty sure I got like a D+ in that shit. So I might be wrong. But I'm pretty sure that like the enslavement of Africans in the new America, the new United States, was the shortest period of enslavement in history.
Okay, the reason why I have a problem with this is because of slavery, it still affects us today. A lot of families are still stuck in those timelines. A lot of us, we burden our kids with these things. we're still stuck mentally. So some of us haven't fast forward to today where we can be like, oh yeah, we overcame. When we go back to half our families are still in the hood, they still in the projects, we still gotta try to help them out. So I'm still seeing the effects of slavery today. Like, you know.
If you want to understand, if you go
look at the prison records, you go look at all these other records. You tell me.
You can't look at them records. You gotta go further back in history, right? To understand, I think Dovey said something about the black people wasn't the first slaves. She's right. There's a place called Joppa, Joppa, that is modern day Tel Aviv. We all know where Tel Aviv is. We all know where Tel Aviv is, right? Now, Joppa was a place that came under Egyptian rule. In the time of Thutmose III, you have a people called the Apiru, or dirty ones. Them come from basically Caucasus Mountains. That's not where they come from, but we just say that for this conversation. They went in and infiltrated this place. They were raiders, farmers, merchants, and all kind of thing. Them infiltrate the place, take over the place. Thutmose III have to send General Jehuti over there so to go restore balance. When them take over the place, the story I try, that is the story that them take the story I try from. Them put 200 soldiers in a 200 basket and them sneak inside of the city. Them take the people, them think say it was a spoils of war. And then when them get inside of the city and them lock the gate, the Egyptian them bust out and them never kill nobody. Them start catch the one them who cause the trouble in the city, open the gates, the rest of the army come in and take over back the city. Now, this is very important. When them catch them and them tie them up, them put on iron collar around them neck, some brass collar with chain, a tie up the one another. The only difference in that slavery versus the crime that happened to us is that they were being punished because of them caused disorder in the people in place. And they had to come back to Egypt in order to work off them crimes. That is how them get the story of the so-called whatever they want to call people going to Egypt and then ending up under Ramses II and then having Moses escort them out. It's nothing but lies. And if you go back in history and look at certain things, it is there.
I wanted to speak on this real quick. So what Creative was just saying a minute ago.
No, definitely.
She is absolutely
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Go ahead, Juanit. My bad. I thought Dove was about to say something. But
man,
I miscalculated. So the Giz, appreciate you for the 5. He said drop it for 5 minutes.
Oh man. I wanted to say, like, to what Creative was saying, like I say, when you look at what happened during transatlantic and you look at the history and everything, so what I add to what the OG Coach Ferg was saying too, when you look at particularly with Black Americans, we was literally stripped of anything African, anything culturally African, because of course the British thought that if we use, like, people forget drums was even outlawed. So when you see how drums and everything is used in Caribbean culture, in culture in Cuba and Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic and all over the islands, they outlawed drums here in the United States because they thought we would try to send some type of signal to escape and different shit like that. Remember, you couldn't speak any type of languages, and like we was completely stripped. And what people don't want to be honest about too, a lot of our cultures, Black Americans, come from European culture.
You can't take the dog out the fight, but you can't take the fight out of the dog.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of modern culture is hybrid cultures from a bunch of different culture. Most countries, the culture is not the culture is got influence from multiple different cultures. You know what I mean?
And when you look at, when you look at Black people being poor here in the United States, when you look at Black people being poor in the Caribbean, in Jamaica and Trinidad, when you look at black people being poor in Guyana, that's not by coincidence. That's because the system wasn't built for us to thrive in. We was considered chattel capital to make money off of. And then a lot of these other groups, no matter how bad Europeans treated them, whether it be the Asians, whether it be the Indians and everything like that, they adopted to that mindset because they thought that they would, well, at least if I'm further ahead from black people, then I'm still, you know, I'm a little above. So that's why you have Indians in Guyana that adapt the mentality of the Europeans that ruled over Guyana, and they brought in
everything
indentured service. The Chinese over there in the islands that they say, oh, out of one many in Jamaica, but the money is only going in one direction.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta it's a lot of stuff that people you gotta pay attention to, but you won't know that unless people when you do the history and you can see the patterns in every direction. The same thing here in the States. The system wasn't built for us. That's why we have to fight tooth and nail for every little motherfucking thing that we get. And we still fight.
This system is made to establish control amongst a certain type of people, because at one point in time, we did have control over the thing. And our rule was different because, honestly, dark-skinned people inherently, we're not violent. We're a peaceful people. We will more want to sort things out and live peacefully than to create violence and war with anybody else. That is not our nature. So from and you have to bear in mind, you see the Bible, them will put certain things in the Bible and twist it up, because Revelation tell us a man gonna have a certain amount of time, whether it be 2,000 years or X amount of certain thousand years for doing thing. And it'll come down to the ending right now, because the reason why I say that is because a certain level of balance has to be achieved. The plan have to achieve some kind of balance, but the balance that them are try achieve is through subjugation, right? It's not balance with equal rights and justice for all. Is the work of the many only benefit the few.
Mm-hmm. So 18, based on what you're saying, would you say that, I'm just using this word because it's the only word on, you think black people got punked out of being, I guess, doing the civil rights and the things that they showed us throughout our modern American history? They only showed us when we tried to get together and be strong. They sort of just tried to do whatever they could to wipe it out. And most of the time they did it right in front of our faces, right? Absolutely. So we're saying prior to once the civil rights hit, you think that we were so scared after that today, these, y'all my fighting generation, the young men are still scared to take on the monster of America?
Yes, I do think we do have some people like that, and that's not just special to us. That's a lot of black folks all over. But I'll just speak about us right now, because when you look at that in that particular time period, we've always been behind the eight ball. We came out. We had Reconstruction after slavery. They turned around and changed the laws that destroyed that. We built up Black Wall Street. We built up over 45 towns in America that was built up was completely destroyed based off of jealousy.
Okay.
Because they thought that us as niggas shouldn't have nothing. So they destroyed our towns, which would mean today, if those towns still exist, we would have trillions and trillions of dollars in capital.
Okay.
Today, if those towns, so they destroyed that. Then they turned around, they built, like when we try to build into the neighborhoods in the inner cities that we live. Then come the 1956 Highway Act, where they ran highways straight through our fucking neighborhoods, which caused us to disperse and go somewhere else. The Homestead Act, where we couldn't fucking get no type of property. The discrimination in housing, where we couldn't get any type of housing, where they literally created Levittown and created the suburbs so they don't have to live around black people. And they built their equity up in the suburbs. And that's how they got... Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll say all of those events happen, right? And I would say everything that you named, 99.9% of that happened before me. I'm 58. It happened before me.
It happened it was still happening around the time you was born, even into the 70s.
So now in the 70s, it was a little different. So what I'm saying
let me just
is,
say this real quick, OG. Let me just say this real quick. When the 70s came, that was the migration that was like a little bit after the Great Migration, when people was coming up from the Carolinas, particularly Chicago, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama. It was before that, but then remember, black men was the labor force in this country. So we was working all of the industrial jobs. We was working in the factories, in the automobile plants, and all of that. Then they turned around and shipped those jobs overseas.
Okay, so stop right there, right?
And then
so stop right there. Okay, so stop right there, right? Yes, but black people coming out of slavery, they was a lot smarter than we were, because you talking about it. They built towns. They built businesses.
They were unified.
Right. They were unified.
I can explain to y'all how white people think. I've infiltrated many.
Let me just say this real quick, Royce, before you finish. And people got to remember too, like I said before, we was behind the 8-ball. Being behind the 8-ball on a game on Monopoly is like all of the property is already brought up, and you starting the game at -5,000. And people got to remember too, we fought back, but we was outgunned and we was outnumbered.
But can I say something about that, though? Can I say something about that? No matter how much you subjugate a people, right? As soon as you give them the chance for can build something for themselves, look how fast them spring up. So you know the one commonality between everything that you guys just labeled out, regardless the scenario, it is always coming down to a factor of division. Because when I and I come together and we start build Black Wall Street and them over there so looking at us and say, fuck, how they build that shit so fast. We gotta burn that shit down. And then when you burn it down, the ones them are gonna scatter and go other places. And if they start to do it there again, you're gonna burn it down again. And then you're gonna have a person like Marcus Garvey come up and say, yo, why they keep burning down with things? Come together and get the Black Star Line. But no, J. Edgar Hoover.
They destroyed
J. Edgar Hoover gonna come in now and say Marcus Garvey is a father.
The warrior class of us, and when I say warrior class, I'm saying 21 to 41. Y'all the strongest Negroes in America when you that age. So you saying that we don't, that age group doesn't have that community warrior spirit anymore?
No, and I think it's misdirected. You see it more in the streets than you do anything now.
So we fight against ourselves more.
Yes, because too, when you have children, the idea. See, this is why I love my grandmother, because my grandmother told me to study Black history. She sat down and read to me about Black history and it allowed me to have more confidence and self-respect as a man. I didn't, I'm an individual, of course. But it allowed me to see myself in a broader perspective, because I wasn't always the way I am right now. I grew up in the ghetto just like, anybody else. And the shit that I saw early in my life was not a reflection of unity at all. It was every person for themselves, cutthroat. We gonna sell this dope. We gonna do whatever. If any nigga get in our way, we gonna handle it. That's what I grew up seeing. But with the older generation, if you don't pass that down, where they gonna pick it up from? And then on top of that, you got, not only do you have people thinking as an individual, but with us as a collective of people, we don't come together to support people that's down for us. When you look at all of the major people that was on the front lines of us trying to help us, and let's not forget, it was always niggas just like you see today that hated or tried to go against what was going on. It's always been Black people like that. But when you see for today, people are looking at the fact that a lot of the leaders was executed, a lot of the leaders was assassinated, people that fought in the forefront of the struggle. It's no collective of people to give income to their families. People gonna be like, what the fuck? I'm not about to sacrifice myself.
So again, Nathan, because you would be in a leadership position based off age and maturity, right? So again, are we not, what I'm trying to say is, have we not learned from our past to ensure that we protect our investments within our community? Would brothers come? I think brothers have enough sense to be able to say, you know what? I'm not good at this, but I can protect this perimeter. I can ensure that our women and children are protected also. Do you think people are just so divided now because of 60 years ago who they wasn't even born with. Again, my 80s babies.
Let me
Salute to you.
Yo, let me tell y'all what white people do. Let me tell y'all what white people do that black people don't do.
Let me respond real quick. I got you. Hold on. Everything that happened back then affects what goes on today, Coach Furr. Just like I say, I was born in '88. I was born at the heart of the crack era. That shit fucked my whole family up.
Right.
That shit fucked my whole family up. I knew what crack was at 6 years old. I wasn't even around when crack was around, when crack first came out. I knew what that shit was at 6, 7 years old. Everything, the automatic weapons being brought onto the streets in the mid 80s. Hearing the motherfucking gunshots, at night, motherfucker like that. So what happens in the past affects you in the modern day, and you have a lot of people whose parents were not the brightest. You got a lot of motherfuckers that and the ones that ain't the brightest are having more babies than the ones that are. So they're outnumbered. So it's hard to get them niggas on the same page. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'll say this and I'll shut up. I think as a people we were okay because again, Gen X, we came out of school with skills that we learned within our learning. We learned the skills with our hand. A lot of people came out trying to be entrepreneurs of that time, create their own businesses, right? And once they saw that we were moving in that direction, once they snuck that crack into the community, now you got teenagers selling to parents, teenagers selling to mothers, and those children that were born in that time, they grew up, all they saw was fighting amongst families. The big brother no longer there because he may got served time or he may have taken out, or he got taken out. So that affected, this is the 18, you right in the prime of that age, right? Because I would say you were like early 40s, if so, right? I can see what you're saying because right now, the foundation of the man and the woman, y'all struggle to find each other and build unity within that capacity. So most children are not getting the messaging.
Can I ask you something?
Because the feminists. Okay, I got you, Dub. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I know y'all want to talk. I just want to say because everything that happened back then in the 60s has an effect on what happens today. Not once in no form of life does history resets itself with a new generation. People pick up the pieces from what happened back then. Coach Furr, you lived up in you came from, it's a lot of people from Kentucky up here. You lived up here. You saw them project buildings.
Yes.
You saw the Robert Taylors. You saw the Cabrini Greens and everything and the shit that black people were subjugated to live into those places because racist aldermen didn't want us in their ward. And the projects and what drugs did and the killing, the gang banging, the sniping from buildings and all that. You saw that. So at everything, and them buildings was built before I was born.
Yeah.
So everything that has an effect, everything that's done in the past has an effect on the future. How many people want to deny that, and how many? I'm not saying don't use that as an excuse. You got to build up. We all got to build up. We all got to make money, and we all got to establish ourselves. But to act like that don't have an effect, I find that when people try to play them type of games, I just don't understand. Like even the people that we dealing with, I understand. What's his name? The man that lost his son, McCaff, whatever his name is, the man. Rest in peace. No,
Metcalf. My fault, Metcalf.
Rest in peace to the young man because that was a situation that never should have happened. But everything that he said when he was speaking about black folks, I'm not gonna sit there and say he shouldn't say it because he lost his child. If I lose a child and my child loses his life, you ain't gonna be able to tell me what I can and can't say. But everything that he said about these black people and the type of black people here, America did a good fucking job in creating the type of niggas that you see today. The ones that are like that. The ones that are running around and don't give a fuck, that ain't got shit to lose. We gonna say whatever we want to say. We gonna be obnoxious and disrespectful. America did a phenomenal job in creating black people that you see like that today. From everything from destroying our family structure to drugs to taking away our job opportunities to destroying our wealth and our capital to restricting us to live in certain areas to brainwashing us to hate ourselves. America did a great fucking job in doing that. And I hate how everybody just try to dismiss that under the rug and act like we starting at the same finish. We starting at the same starting line everybody else is. Nothing ever happened. These people are just like this. It's bullshit.
And the crazy part is that we'll start like way later than everybody else and still beat everybody in the race. That's how great we are. And
Yeah, well,
I just
that
want
was
to like just to Ferg, one thing that kind of bothers me is how Black people like are, at least in the Ferg, don't shake your head. You know that distracts me. Be still. So like Black people, you know, we're tethered to other Black people for better or for worse. And that really bothers me because that's not truly free. Like what it means to truly be free is to be able to call Black people out if you don't like them. Like, have you ever, white people are free to say that Ted Bundy is a serial killer, right? But why do we have to like defend the Diddy's because he's Black? No, call these people out. You're not actually free if you're like tethered to somebody just because of their Blackness. You know, and
He
one
wasn't aware of what Diddy did, though.
pardon?
I mean, a lot of people was. But they was benefiting. They was benefiting from it.
No, yeah, they were. They were. That's a whole different. But you know, I hope you get like the point of what I'm saying.
But what did he do outside of being a freak?
But wait, I don't want to get my point lost before you answer that. And like for
The white folks ain't calling out a whole lot of shit.
you know how he's like, oh, you know, a lot of Black people, you know, they may, you know, they'll steal, they'll rob, you know. My question is, and Ferg, I'm not coming for you. I just trying to.
And I never said a lot of Black people, but go ahead.
Okay, I may have misspoke, but I'm just trying to have a good little dialogue. So I don't know if you know that J. Cole song, "Tale of Two Cities," and there's a line in there where he says, like, "I look around and say, do you want to be another nigga that ain't never had things? Guess not. Last night I pulled about the nigga at the light, like, and then nice watch nigga run it, you know." And the only reason I bring that up is because it's quite normal for anybody in poverty to start stealing. So why is it that when Black people resort to that, it's a testament to how Black people act, but when every other race does it, it's because they're poor?
Let me tell y'all how white people think.
I'm really happy for you. I'm
this
let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
The money counting thing. Money counting thing. Money.
Black Dove, you gone for 10 minutes. Drop Black Dove for changing the topic.
I was like, I needed drugs for a second. I was about to go.
No, Lord.
Say no to drugs. Say no to drugs, kids.
Say no to drugs.
I'm just playing, but I need a drink or something.
No, I'm just trying.
Can I get my point over about how white people think?
Yeah, bro. Tell us how white people think.
Yeah. So look, this is because contrary to what Black Dove was saying, white people have a lot of motivation, more incentive to make moves than Black people do, because white people they have a deep fear of the Black boogeyman. So white people wake up already having Black people on their mind, and y'all think they don't be thinking about us, but y'all crazy. So when they see Black people, they really want to know what we thinking. If we do something unusual than what they're used to seeing Black people do, they notice it immediately, and they go scope it out. They keep tabs on Black people. Black people do the same thing so much that they know what we do. They know everything we do. So when we deviate from that, they notice it. And And black people, we don't keep tabs on other people like the way they keep tabs on us. And so like even as a hunter, hunters, when they see a gazelle, they like, I want to get in the gazelle's head. Like, how does the gazelle think? Like that's how hunters think. They like to watch the gazelle, and they like to see, like, become the gazelle themselves in their mind and figure it out how it moves. That's how white people think. And I've done the same thing to white people.
Hey, DJ, I set the cash app, bring Black Dove back. Sorry about that, Royce. I didn't mean that to.
Let's welcome Black Dove back to the stage. Black Dove back to the stage.
Thank you.
What the AKAs? Huh?
Thank you, 18.
That was not a skewy. Okay,
Yes,
it was kind of close. Okay, but it wasn't.
Thank
If
you.
it had been, we would have sued for copyright infringement as we do.
Oh no, they.
But my point is, white people have more curiosity. Like they care about what other people think. We don't care about what white people think. We just believe what they show us on TV about white people, but we don't really try to understand them. We don't seek them out. I myself have seeked white people out in their natural habitat, and I've seen how they move, and it's not the way.
Wait a minute, slow down, please. You said in their natural habitat.
Yeah, that is crazy.
National Geographic
It's
around
like you watching monkeys at the zoo.
When I say natural habitat, I mean a place where they're allowed to be racist, like where they can be out and open with their racism.
Where is that?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Certain websites, like extremist groups. I've infiltrated extremist groups of like white extremist groups.
But see, here's the thing. One thing you have correct, Royce. One thing you have correct is that I hate about us as black people is that we don't study other groups. Not only do we not study other groups, but we always try to downplay shit like, oh, that shit don't matter. And that's why you always getting caught off guard and finding yourself behind the fucking 8-ball. Because you don't know what else is going on. Everybody else study us because people got to sell products to us. They got to open up stores and look about and selling their shit to us. But we don't a lot of people, they just don't think. They don't think that far. But one thing here you got to understand, man, because not all white people are the same, just like not all black people are the same. There's some good white folks that ride with black folks, period. And I ain't gonna put down people just because you got a lot of people like them that'll sacrifice that'll sacrifice their privileges to help out black people. And you got smart racist white people, which are usually the ones that work in corporate.
There's a couple white people I look up to.
But then you got dumb white people that are racist. The dumb racists. It's smart racists and it's the dumb racists. The dumb racists are the ones you're seeing white power with the Confederate flags and all, and they're the ones that's loud because they're the poor people that don't have nothing to lose. And you got to think, like when I said what affects our history, right? You got to look at the idea of why they do that is because this when you look at the publications that was like in the 1900s, in the early 1900s and stuff, with the King Kong and the book showing like, oh, black these evil black predators, they trying to take your women and all of that, like that stuff has literally been instilled in their minds when it comes to thinking about it.
And on top of that, like being in that group is the only group that you don't have to be shit to be in. Like you can be uneducated, unattractive, unsuccessful, and you can still be a white power loser. It's the easiest to be in. All you have to be.
And wait, let me just say this real quick, Doug, because here's what people mess up at, right? The rich white folks don't give a fuck about the poor white folks, but they literally gave black people to be the boogeyman to keep the poor white folks pacified so they won't have any type of insurrections when you look at all of them different labor riots and all of that shit in the early 1900s. That wasn't no black people. That's because, like we're dealing with today, rich white folks didn't want to pay no fucking body. Just like that's why we went from slave labor to fucking cheap labor, because they don't want to pay nobody, including poor white people. So in order to pacify poor white people, we gonna give you these niggas to look down on. Yeah, it's always the niggas' fault. Look at them. It's the niggas' fault.
How many of y'all live? How many of y'all live? How many people on here live below the Mason-Dixon line?
Not me. I only visit over there in
Mississippi. Okay. So 18. Okay, so you live north. Anybody else live below the Mason-Dixon line?
I don't know what that is, so I can't.
If you don't know what it is, I'm going to
explain. Is Georgia below the Dixie line?
Yes.
Hell yeah, you in the deep south.
The Mason-Dixon line is an imaginary line where they divided the North and the South from the Ohio River, the Mississippi River, in a sense. So you would draw a straight line from, I would say, North Carolina, South Carolina, somewhere around that line, D.C., all the way out to Cali. That's the Mason-Dixon line. Maybe going down into Tennessee. You can read it if you didn't get the class in high school. So what I'm saying is there became a time where I grew up in a slave state. I grew up in Kentucky. So once I was Gen X, we were allowed to go places my parents couldn't go. We were going all over the place. And then once we discovered, right, that we couldn't do stuff, it became a point where we sort of took pride in who we were, despite of, right? And then we would prove to motherfuckers that we could do it. When they said we couldn't, we used to call it reverse psychology. When somebody tell you I can't do something now, y'all get to crying and talking about they shame you. But no, it was a time where people say, man, you can't do that. And then you would put in the work so you could do it. So you sort of motivated yourself despite what happened, right? And then you took that information and passed it forward. Say, hey, this is what you go run into. However, this is a way you can also get around it. And when you face it, racism in a sense, because that's one of the hardest things to prove in America. You Google it, the hardest crime is racism, right? Because under the system, it's already in the language of how they're going to, perpetuate or subjugate you in a sense, right? We've seen it with the case. We've seen similar cases, and we see who gets the worst of the penalty. We see it, right? However, once you learn this information, you have to use it to your advantage going forward. And you have to be willing to say, okay, like somebody said earlier, the resiliency of us, right? Because despite of all of that, they still was able to build millions that we can't build today. And then once we fell into the hands of our welfare gods, we still hold on to that mindset today. Al Sharpton and them, they were that generation. They got in the way and they never moved. They never got out the way. So Gen X couldn't go up there and say, hey, we ain't with it. The millennials, they damn sure ain't trying to let y'all get up to the top because they're taking away opportunities for y'all.
Yes,
intentionally. So, but again, are y'all gonna stick together to fight the system? Stick together. Y'all gotta come together.
I don't even think a lot of people
stick together.
I don't even think a lot of people even conscious on how to do that, Coach. For you to even be able to even stand together, you got to identify it as a problem. You got so many people out here that look for acceptance, and some people that just simply don't give a fuck. They don't care, and they out for themselves. And people like that, it has to be something that's put in place to it being a reward for, and it's sad to say, an award for you having pride in your people. If it's no award, if you put any group of people in the same predicament that you put black people in, you will literally get the same results. We saw parts of that. We saw during the whole Asian hate campaign and how some of the agents was crying, oh, nobody's coming to buy our food. We're dealing with this, we're dealing with that. And we like, that's just a fucking drop in the bucket of the shit that we got to deal with on a daily basis. We've seen what happens with other groups if they just get just a little bit of a taste of what black people would go through. They will literally break down. So it just has to be like, I don't know, man. It has to be something that's instilled in you when you're young, And like to what DJ was saying earlier too, I just wanted to touch on this when he said like moving into, because DJ, you might not live that far from what was considered a sundown town historically, Forsyth County, because Forsyth County, they ran all of the black people out of there like in the 30s and the 40s and deleted a lot of them, and then they turned.
Let me ask you this, right? Yeah. Are there sundown towns today?
I don't know if you would consider. I don't know if you would
yes, they got registered sundown towns. It's like a what you call it, like a yellow plate page list.
Yeah, it's like a list. Yeah,
because back in the day,
there are, and
back
even
in the day, they used to have what?
Yes.
Because back in the day, they used to have what you called the Green Book.
Green Book, yeah.
They used to have a Green Book which showed towns for black people to avoid back in the day to live in. Now, I'm not saying, let me just say this real quick. I'm not saying that it's what you would consider maybe the same thing might happen to you today that it did back then. You don't know. But just due to the historical situations of what has transpired, most black people don't want to take that chance. So they may not go over there because you may deal with some microaggressions or some shit in the day, but you don't know if some motherfucker might try to try you at night or somebody feel like, oh, okay.
But it's not legal. But it's not like legal to have a son.
No, it's not. It's not. But it's an unspoken. It's unspoken. I give you the perfect example, and I think that might have been. I think that might have been Inviter in 1998, and I know people think, oh, that was almost 30 years, but that really wasn't that long ago. I remember seeing this as a kid with James Byrd. James Byrd, some people befriended James Byrd. I think he was invited.
Jasper, hold on, bro. It was Jasper, Texas. I was stationed in Mount. I used to go get my car registered in Jasper, Texas, and tell him what happened to the brother.
They pretended to befriend him, like, oh man, we cool with you and everything. He was sitting there drinking with them. It was 3 white boys. He was sitting there drinking with them, and then they turned around and they jumped him. And once they jumped him, they tied him to the back of that pickup truck by his feet, and they on change, and they drove with him tied to the back of their pickup truck, dragging to his flesh peeled off of his skin and everything. And he died, and he died from that. Then you had another situation. I think it might have been in Pennsylvania. It was a brother from Jamaica who came and he was kicking it. He was kicking it with some white folks. He was kicking it with some white folks, and don't nobody know what happened. He quote unquote went hunting with them, and he never came back. All of the white people came back out the woods. He never came back. So it'd be a lot of different incidents like that. So I'm not saying just it's gonna be out of control like group versus group, but it is sporadic acts of violence against black people. That's why I think black people are number one for hate crimes on the list or something like that, for being targeted for hate crimes.
So intimidated. Like, of course they want to wipe out what they're afraid of. But like, no, yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to be a registered sundown town to like. Me being from Colorado, this is why everybody in my family stays strapped. Like,
if it not legal, why the fuck is it called a registered sundown town? Me not understand that.
Because historically, those was places where I wouldn't say it's registered. It's not registered in law in the United States law, but for black people, it was registered within our green books and everything because incidents had happened there where black people were deleted or severely beaten. And believe it or not, hold on one second, y'all. Believe it or not, 187, they used to have billboards in some of these towns that say, "Nigger, don't let the sun go down when you in this town."
They got bells and they got like horns that go off in some of these towns. And even to this
I don't know if they doing that today, but back then.
Hold on, next level.
They still have the bells there. They still have the sirens and they didn't tear them down. And even to this day, there are black people that come up missing, like these truck drivers that come up mysteriously hanging, like these college students that be found mysteriously hanging, and everything is called self-deletion in these sundown towns.
My cousin was actually
go to school there. They'll just go to school, and it's a sundown town 15 minutes away. You don't know.
Right. Right. And see, DJ asked about it because it was sort of similar to what you said, Next Level, right? How do people know? People should be able to go because it's advertised already prior to. I mean, if somebody traveled through that town,
Coach, the average black person don't know that Sundown Tongues is like still real.
Yeah,
Like his
they don't.
parents probably didn't even know that shit.
They, especially if they grew up in the cities and the inner city, their parents ain't taught them shit. Like they might, like Coach Fur, with you and me talking about, a lot of like from you telling me this is something that I would hear from my grandparents who lived in that time period. A lot of people, and then on top of that too, them people that pull shit like that, they always, like in some of these towns, they always target a weak black person, or they feel, or somebody that they think they can weak. They're not gonna try DJ.
A lot of the stuff
or
that y'all
a
be
nigga like.
talking about. A lot of the stuff that y'all be talking about black history, bro. People that I know in real life rarely know that shit, bro. I'm talking about black Americans, like people from up here, bro. Like you thinking that you knowing this shit is normal. Like, bro, I know hella people that don't know shit about none of this shit, bro.
But it depends on where they were born and where they answer, like the elders were born in that time. You know, a lot of modern people, we were born up in the cities and you didn't go through that. But again, if you had grandparents and great grandparents that was connected to it, they had to fight their way out of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. The messaging sort of got diluted once we got into our 80s and 90s because people were quickly to move to the city.
And I give you the perfect example, Coach Fur. I give you the perfect example. My great-grandfather came up here. My great-grandfather came up here from Arkansas. He came up here from Arkansas. He ended up getting into it with a white man who told him to take his his wheelbarrow and go all the way back. They was on a wooden bridge, and it was two white men, and they wanted him. They said, "Boy, go back there, so we can come through here with our stuff." And then he said, "No, I'm not fucking going back nowhere." And he pushed past them. That night, he went and told his family what had happened. That night, they got him out of there and sent him up to Chicago. The Klan came to his house that night. It's my great grandfather. He was from Arkansas. My great grandmama from Alabama. They came to his house that night looking for him. The Klan. They was going to delete him. They was going to lynch him and all of that. And then and the shit that, and all my peoples remember, Emmett Till was from Chicago. Emmett Till was right off 63rd. He went back to Mississippi, and what happened to him in Money, Mississippi. I remember my grandfather and my step grandfather telling me about Money and how you had to be careful going through there, and motherfuckers would try to talk to you, boy, what you doing over here, boy, and all like different shit like that. And we saw what happened to him when he went down there. So, but like to what DJ said, a person that's born in the 90s, that's born in the 80s, if their parents was born in the early 70s and they in inner city Atlanta, zone 1, zone 6,
don't know nothing about that.
New York, all like, man, they don't know, they not teaching them shit about
they know the
it.
struggles of the projects. It's a different
black history is an afterthought in their mind.
Yeah. This is America.
But I would say growing up in the South or even some parts of the Midwest, like even like Chicago, like it's taught different due to the fact of the racial that you would see. You know what I'm saying? Like you might see different type of racial tension in the South than you might see on the East Coast or even the West Coast. That's why people in the South are probably taught things like the sundown towns and the stuff like that.
You know what I would say.
Hey DJ, I got a video I'm gonna send you real quick. All
right, send it through. From somebody who lived, because I lived in New York, right, for a couple of years before I lived down here in Georgia, right. And what I would say, bro, when you're talking about like white people that is like scared of black people, I would say I more see that in New York than in the South. I don't see a lot of white people in the South that is like scared of black people. And mostly I don't see young white people is like a lot of them low-key identify themselves as black. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about older people. When you see an older white person that's like a little timid when black people is around, I don't see that shit down south. I see the opposite. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of older black people be having their head down around white people or shit. It don't be like that. And the white people down here is like more bolder than a lot of white people from up north and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, we saw Chud the Builder. We saw what the fuck he was doing down there in Tennessee.
Because in the South, in the South, the white people have the law behind their back too, though.
Yes, they have the law. So I'm gonna ask y'all on the panel again. Y'all have a son, y'all have a young family. Are y'all moving y'all families into a known racist town?
Of course not knowingly. Of course not.
But that's what I'm saying. People from the South know which towns are racist, and they know which places not to go and move in. They know.
But that's the thing. Did Carmelo family know?
Yes, they knew.
Because from what I heard, the school was diverse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get that. Yes, it's diverse. However, the town is the town people are what they are. These students, they go there, their parents will teach them. At some point, you got to separate from the niggas.
Okay, the area they was in was a diverse area as far as like a suburban, like a middle American type of area. But the county that they resided in, the county itself, see, and that's what a lot of people, like, especially like our people, black people, we don't get into our local things. We don't even know who our local judge is, who the police chief. People don't like you're not looking at that. Like, when I move, like, let me see what's really going on. Who is the DA out here? How is the DA? Like, what's their turnover rate? What's going on?
Let me look at the arrest rate. You know what I'm saying? That's easy. Oh, they locking up a lot of niggas over. I'm not moving my 15, 16-year-old boy over there. No, the Becky might like him. She might want to give him some head, and her daddy walk in while your son.
But that's the thing. They move into neighborhoods that ain't got high arrest rates and shit, bro.
Well, most black neighborhoods. Anyway, but okay.
Nah. It's some that ain't like. You know what? Goddamn, for
it's some good black neighborhoods in the South.
It's some decent neighborhoods, depending on where you at. Like parts of Maryland. Even up here, different parts and everything that's quiet. It's a few of those up here. But to add to what DJ was saying too, the thing is too, where people will fuck up at with their kids is that you think you're leaving the bad shit behind, and then you move into an area. Let's say that area is a majority white. You're not even thinking about what your kids might go through in school. You might not think about how they might be making racist jokes towards your kid, and your kids just try to accept it because they want to be validated. They want to be validated by these people. And they're like, yeah, man, you don't think about that. You don't think about your black daughter might like the white boy in school because she watched the Twilight, and come to find out he a fucking racist and don't really fuck with black girls, or even worse, he might not fuck with black girls and turn around and fuck her. And then turn around and like, oh yeah, I just slept with that black girl. She don't mean nothing. People don't think about shit like that. They don't think about like moving into those certain areas. You just think you're getting away from one problem, and then you can be going into another. Because if you don't teach your kids to have if you don't teach your kids to have self-respect and what's going on, and pay attention to what's going on with them, you could be creating them to have an inferiority complex based off of where they're living. If they're living in an area where it's not a majority of black people,
So let me ask you this, right?
That's a fact, guys. I just want to throw in there. Most of our girls over here on our side, okay. Of the pun, when I do the census and go through my little ledger in the docket, the notes, The ones that are struggling in areas that we didn't tap into are in predominantly Caucasian neighborhoods. They are having the most problems that no one saw coming. And it turned out that's not the answer. Nor is it the answer to just be around. Like, you got to go a little bit deeper and back to the parents putting some stuff in their kids.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to backfire if you get around the other side thinking it's better over there. The grass green on the other side. It's all type of stuff going on. So we're having some issues with that. Because they done uprooted and moved out, got into these neighborhoods, bought these big houses, no neighborhoods, no that they can't connect to their neighbors. There's a disconnect there, and that disconnect is causing some serious issues with our girls.
Mm-hmm. So would you say the parents failed in this situation?
Yeah, it's going to come down to the parents.
Okay. Thank you. At least somebody understand. I'm shut up.
But that's not even just in this situation. Minus this situation, like that has been the motive to do. You know, moving on up to the east side. That's what people do.
I said that.
People been doing that, you know, and that's like, I think the more you do that, like even to go what Beachy was saying, like you get away from that community. You get away from actually community. You get away from even your family and everything. A lot of people move to the suburbs. They grandma way over here, way over there. You know what I'm saying? They not even connecting with the neighbor, like she said. You getting called this at school. You know, you almost alienated in your own community.
And if I may add to that real quick, it's a catch-22, man. Because it's a catch-22. And everything that I said is true on that end. But then you try to have your kids reconnect with their own people, and you might run across, oh, you ain't really like us. Nigga, you live in the suburbs. Oh, nigga, you think you better than us. We wappy band. You think you all this and that. You can't really get down with us like that. So it becomes a situation where kids is fucking torn. And if you don't pay and it really comes down to the parents. Like what culture, like it really.
So what do you think parents should do? Because a lot of people, when they start being in a different tax bracket, they want their kids to go to better schools with better facilities and shit like that. So like what would you suggest them do? Like stay in the hood, or you know what I'm saying? And you know what, just to be clear though, we just looked this up yesterday. The majority of black people in America don't even live in the hood, to be honest with you. Because it's like black suburbs and shit too.
Yep. We got a gang of them here. Now some of them are quasi hood. Don't get me wrong, like Harvey, Dalton. You don't want to be over there.
But what has happened?
Let's be real though. A lot of people say the white ice is colder. It's not even about it's not even about the hood. Some people just want to get away from black people. Honestly.
But what's happened? Y'all see it in y'all states and cities all over America. They realized that most projects were in prime real estate locations. Exactly. Most projects in America was close to downtown. Y'all niggas used to walk to downtown, 6-7 blocks. They realized, oh, this is prime location. And unlike the old whites that did white flight and got out of the city because they kept us close to the city so they can keep an eye on us. And then they realized, oh, we can sort of keep the ball rolling with this because we're going to put drugs in there, keep the fathers from staying. So we're going to separate everybody. But what happened? Those children of the white people, you know, when you go buy your new house in the suburb and finish paying it off, their kids are moving back to the cities.
That's the whole gentrification process.
And but
I feel like I'm perfect to speak on this because
as modern people should take advantage of obtaining something now in the city, in those spaces. But people are so caught up into listen, I finally got my good job. I want the 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom, all that, and my kids are grown and slow.
All they doing
is to learn to be more humble. And also, like, you have to remember, I'm from Colorado, and I don't mean to be a contrarian, which I just learned that word on this panel. But like, I have to keep it real. I would rather live in a predominantly black, poor city than a white suburb any day. You guys have to remember, I'm from Colorado.
So when did you move to one of those cities you're talking about?
No, I was born and raised in Colorado, and I moved to Florida when I was 18.
So are you in Florida or Colorado now?
I'm in Colorado now.
So why did you choose to go from Florida back to Colorado when you had options and opportunity to move in any black city in America?
Just because Florida seemed pretty. Anyway, look, it's too deep, but I do want to say that, like, I would rather, as somebody who lived in both, I would rather live in a black neighborhood than a white neighborhood every day, because here's the thing. In a black neighborhood, okay, they might want to, the hoodlums might want to take your purse, they might want to take your chain, but you can learn the rules of that, right? Growing up in Colorado, this is why my whole family stays strapped, because you never know what the fuck these people are going to do. You don't. The first school shooting, Columbine, was in Colorado. The first shooting in a theater was in Colorado. I remember when I was in the 9th grade and somebody went missing and they found her. She was like 12 years old and they found her like, I don't know the words to not get you banned, DJ, so sorry, but they found her like dismembered and scattered. This is what white people do. Like, they're weird, and it's like when I was living in Florida, and I've done both. Like, I've lived in really rich neighborhoods, and I also lived in what I call Lauderkill.
So let me ask this to narrow it down, right? Let's say somebody was in a bad neighborhood and their family started coming up on some money, right? What would be more ideal for them to do? Because you're moving out of the hood, you isolating yourself, but you staying in the hood, and it's like, what you doing? Probably
Mr. DJ, y'all are going from hood to suburbs. There's something in the middle, and it's called a predominantly black neighborhood. You guys are going from like the project, like the slums, and then making this huge scale over to a predominantly white. You're forgetting right there in the middle, even the middle of the middle. There's called a already established, like where I live, predominantly black neighborhoods where I don't got to go to the mailbox and tuck my chain if I had one on. That's not necessary. Y'all are missing that. I'm trying to figure out, how did you go from A to Z and you forgot they're in the middle, or where they're influential?
No, there's actually the majority of suburbs that I see is like mixed neighborhood. It's not like like I can't even tell if it's predominantly white or black. I'll probably have to do like a head count. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using extreme to make a point, because that's what we talking about, like staying in the hood versus coming out of the hood.
I never lived in a mixed neighborhood, but all I'm saying is that I would rather live in like the quote.
Wait a minute, but the majority of suburbs is mixed neighborhood. Is Hispanic people, is white people, black people, is the
now.
I guess I live in the minority. I've never lived in a mixed neighborhood. Like, I just haven't. So
I was just gonna say that.
I would rather live in a black neighborhood. I don't care, and I've lived in the hood.
Right now, like most of the in the city of Atlanta, you'll find is a lot of black neighborhoods, right? But on the outskirts, like when you're talking about Coach, where people newly, because you gotta remember, like in the inner city, there's more commercial neighborhoods. So everything around the inner city, people are going to be developing that shit too. So that's what you're talking about, keeping your land when they start developing that shit. But a lot of the communities on the outskirts of the city of Atlanta is mixed neighborhoods. They're like suburbs and shit, but it don't really sometimes you might see a predominantly black neighborhood, but it's not like, it might be like a 40% or some, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to be like.
But I lived in Atlanta. I went to law school in Atlanta. And like I said, I never lived in a mixed neighborhood. When I lived in Atlanta, I lived in a nice ass neighborhood. I lived off of Briarcliff.
What part of Atlanta you live?
So I lived on Briarcliff. So wait, hold on. There's like
But
I can't remember. I lived on Briarcliff. I went to Emory Law, and I don't know. I lived on Briarcliff Road. Okay, I can't remember. There was like North Decatur.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was predominantly black. Like I never lived in a mixed neighborhood. Even when I lived in nice neighborhoods, like Atlanta was hands down the nicest city I've ever lived in, ever. And it was like black people. It wasn't mixed.
There's a lot of prominent like black areas in
It's like I guess it's some nice neighborhoods pretty much in a lot of cities in the South. You know, I just think people sort of give them a bad omen because they assume that there may be some problems. But there's a lot of good black communities in the South, and I don't think people that have, if people have connections there, they pretty much understand. But if you're not from there and you come down there, and you move in into one of these cities to where they looking at you crazy. They always watching you every time you go into their stores. You know, that should be a sign right there that maybe this is not the place for me to settle down and raise a family.
Man, I used to, for like 2 or 3 years in my teenage years, I was living with my grandma down there in Andalusia, Alabama, man. That's one of the most dirt poor places where black people live, whatever the case may be, man. And it's white folks there too. Like it's a mixed city. Yeah. Like ain't really no problems there. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I just feel like if you ain't really looking for a problem, that motherfucker ain't gonna find you. Ain't shit. At least most of my life, that's my experience.
And
have you guys ever lived in like a white neighborhood? Can I just ask? Like, has anybody ever lived in like a white neighborhood?
I lived in Nard Spring before and Dunwoody in Atlanta.
Where did you live, Peachy?
I really not say. I'll just say that they almost died. Okay, white people cannot be trusted. You will almost fucking get kidnapped, murdered, killed. All the vices are over there. All the drugs are over there.
No, that's what I'm saying.
The best of the best criminals are in the white neighborhoods. Beachy knows.
Yes.
Okay, this is not a thought. This is a proven fact. They're also weird and they will kill you in
They're
very
weird. That's what I'm saying. They're weird.
They are ancestral people. They are wife swapping weirdo freaks. Okay, and I will
It's
never.
rich white people or poor whites. Like I never live amongst poor whites before. I only live
Your
amongst
cousin marrying your cousin / what are we? What is going on here? We are packing up and leaving. Okay, that is what's going on over there on the white side.
No, I'm just joking with y'all. Like when I lived in a white neighborhood, it wasn't a poor neighborhood. When I live in Sandy Springs, Dunwoody and Nard Spring area, right up there by the Art Institute and shit. The majority of the white people was younger people up there. It's not like a rural area. It's not like other areas in the outskirts of Atlanta. It's like more younger people. As a matter of fact, a lot of the white people that was living there wasn't even from Georgia. They from somewhere else and moving out.
That's why they're different. But trust us, DJ, like white people are weird. I would rather live in the hood any day. Any day. Because when you live in like a white neighborhood where they're like actually from there, they're gonna smile in your face. They're gonna, hey neighbor, how is it going? And then when your kid is walking the street, you're gonna kidnap.
I don't care what color you is, man. Just give me a nice house.
I know a lot of white people
nice neighborhood.
I don't live among them, but I know white people that's from out here, and they don't they put me on to different shit. I don't think I get what you're saying, but it's not like you gotta remember, it's a certain age group you're gonna mostly find in like older white people. A lot of the younger white people some will be like that, but it's not as much as like older white folks. You know what I'm saying?
So Black Dog, you might as well move to one of them major black cities and find you a husband, a black husband.
Black Dog talking about them sex traffickers.
No, we can't say that. We can't say that.
It's not just me, because Beachy just said it too. Like when you live in a predominantly white neighborhood, like they're not gonna rob you. They're not gonna like run it, nigga, give me that watch. But
why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
And keep you in their basement for 10 years. Like they're weird.
Yeah.
There
They
are
are
worse.
weird.
I've been robbed before. I ain't nothing left for me, but there are worse things than being robbed. I can tell you that. I rather somebody
Exactly.
happily gone, just take me all or whatever. But I want like to go home. They cannot be trusted. They are freaks, like I
They're
said. Okay, I
weird. They're
stand on
so
that.
weird.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
and
just say
I'm
Something's wrong with
telling you,
them.
like,
Something's wrong with those men. They
I'm
are
with
not normal.
I'm with
they're
DJ
not.
on this one. I haven't ran into those types of people. The only thing I can say
You
that
just
I
think you
understand.
haven't.
No, I
Right?
could have, maybe in passing, but you don't know what people do, behind closed doors. But I will say, I think what Dub is talking about, I think she's talking about those types of white people that smile up in your face and pretend to be friendly, but behind they like undercover races or shit like that. I
But
think
No,
that's
they're
all
that's
of
all
them.
weird. Whether they're racist or not, they're all
Yeah,
fucking
they
weird.
something
Like,
wrong with them. They will
yeah,
smile in
like
your
it's
face and invite you over, and the whole time you will get plotted on. They cannot be trust. Sorry, I'm not gonna.
yeah.
Oh,
And
I
I have a
the
example. I have
When it
hospitality
come
there.
down to it, they're gonna pick, even no matter how heinous it is, they're gonna go with their side in the heinous, and they're gonna mesh together against your black ass to
I'm
do
telling
something
you.
heinous, even if they're not that type. If someone on their side is doing it, they're not gonna say, no, we're not doing that. That's heinous. Whoa, whatever. Let's not. They're gonna go along with it and turn a blind eye and leave you out for dead. Okay.
Yeah, so I have
That's
a
what they do.
thing. I have a thing that I call DWPs, and it stands for Dangerous White People, and it's a real thing. Like
y'all
ever since I
wild.
moved back home, you have to know the profile. Like DWPs, like they're dangerous. They're weird. They will kidnap you. They'll keep you in their basement. And just like a perfect example, when I was in high school, we had a cat poker. I don't want to say the wrong word.
Did you just say cat poker?
Look, I'm not trying to say the wrong word and get
No,
in
I
trouble.
get what you said. You should have used that term.
Like a cat, like a knife cat person.
A knife cat person.
Oh, you mean like a animal,
like a furry?
Animal. You mean like a grapist?
Like it was a cat person, and the cat person would like poke the cats with knives.
Oh, okay.
Psychopath.
See, my mind's somewhere else. I'm thinking you talking about something. I'm like, think you talking about something
No,
completely different.
this
Okay, you
is
mean like
real
a
shit.
animal
This is
abuse?
how weird they get. This is how weird they get. I'm not even lying. I swear to God. We had a cat poker when I was in high school who was going around poking and like hurting the cats. And it was so bad that it was on the news. And I remember one time I was walking to school and I had to literally step over like a filleted cat. That's how
Probably
they
a
get
Haitian.
down. So it's like,
Hey, no disrespect to the
weird.
Zoes, bro. That was a motherfucking lie that people put
I'm
on
not
the news.
lying,
Don't
guys.
disrespect
I'm
me,
telling you
bro.
the truth. I'm telling you the truth. Live amongst your own people. At least you know the rules. At least you know, like, if anything, if somebody wants to like snatch something, rob you, XYZ, I don't know nan black person who wants to like do that to an animal. Not one. But that's how they get down.
keep
I
living.
literally saw. I was walking to school. It was a filleted cat, like it was bad.
But
And
could
I
they
didn't have
make
no
could they
choice
make
but to
people
step over and keep walking
could they
because we had a
make
poker on the loose.
Forget white people.
people
I'm not
target
thinking about white people like that. Bro.
have
Forget it, bro.
thriving black communities like they once had? Not just like just regular. I'm talking about like real thriving black communities.
The community.
I'm saying will that make people targets to have real thriving communities? What I'm saying, like thriving black communities, not just like middle America, like black communities. I'm talking about thriving communities, like to go back to like the Rosewoods and the Black Wall Streets, like communities like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can always have a community watch. Yeah, they'll let you have that. But as soon as you start to try to make your own like sovereign nation? Or you trying to make your own? Like,
Right.
yeah, they're gonna blow that bad boy up. What you
I
thought?
agree with this. I agree with this super chat, right? I lived in poor white people neighborhood. They're very similar to poor black people. Now, I never
Yeah.
lived in a poor
Yeah.
white neighborhood, but I know of a trailer park that is literally 15 minutes away. And it is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the hood. You see like Harden in the front yard where it's like junk
To
and
be
shit.
honest, they damn near act like us. They damn near act like niggas in the hood.
Like a lot of poor
Yeah, but they're
people,
not, and they will motherfucking kill you. Okay.
but a
That's
lot of
some
poor
weird
people
shit.
They ain't gonna touch me.
a lot of poor people got a lot of similarities because if you look at a lot of pro-black people, right? A lot of the pro-black extreme people like Hebrew Israelites and stuff, most people around that pro-black grassroots crowd be more poorer black people.
Yeah.
The most pro-white racists be
Are
mostly
poor white
the
people.
poorer whites because they ain't got nothing else to lean on but racism. You know what I'm saying? Because when you broke and you poor, you more rely on your group more. The richer people get, the more they covert it be with it because they ain't trying to fuck up the bread.
No,
So they
man.
Wait,
just
so
Why
DJ, do you think
I have heard
that?
these
Hold
white
on,
boys say,
let me
these
let me
white
ask this
boys
real quick.
in the wigger mentalities, these white boys, okay, they will say ish like what DJ just said. I relate more to the black community because I grew up poor, and that's why they think they connect to us. The very thing y'all just said, when at all, that is not what connects you to our blackness. How dare you take poverty as your connection to our race? It is offensive, and I'm pretty sure I got it on my stream. I had to private the whole goddamn live because Chad, Brad, and Tyler, were utterly embarrassing with their comments about why do you think you can sit up here and say you identify with a black man and then use your money or your understanding of what is to be poor as your are you kidding me? This is the shit they say.
But see, Beachy.
But when it come down to it, when they're driving without their license, no one pulls him over, or as what that man said that I had married,
Man,
he
that's
just put his
BS.
arm out the window, and the cop ride right on by him. He don't care if he poor or rich. He just see a white arm, and he's never
Beachy, that's made up.
No,
That's
I
not
gotta
true.
disagree. I
It's
gotta
not true.
disagree.
It's not true.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. It's not completely.
with a little slap on the wrist, but let Marlon
Look at
them
this.
try that.
It's
They're
not
gonna
completely
go to
untrue
jail.
what she's saying because look at this. But that happens in Atlanta. Because if I get pulled over in the city, is a most likely is going to be a black cop. Is a high chance it's going to be a black cop, and it's a high chance if it's some bullshit they'll just let me slide. It's the only thing that the black cop is not discriminating on white people, like white cops would discriminate on. That's the only difference. But a cop pull you over and they see you just like somebody like them, they're not really tripping the same way like a white. Because I got pulled over in counties outside of Atlanta, Cobb County. You know what I'm saying? Or even like these places like Carrollton and these places, Hiram and shit. Them police be kind of scared because they're not living around black people. It's not something that they're used to and shit.
I would just personally say, right? Do they get pulled over? Yes. Do black people get pulled over higher, proportionally higher? Yes. So, but I was just saying, white people get pulled over. That's all I was really saying.
I was gonna say to add to that, Beachy, I got to keep it all the way at G. White people get beat on by the police too. They do get pulled over. And to what you were saying with the one white guy that was saying he connect more than black people. I don't know if he meant it like that because you got to remember, like some of these poor white people that grow up. I think what he was because like some of these poor white people that grow up with black people, they're like these people that been in their houses, they've been in their houses, they done shared food, broke bread. So that's probably what he mean. That's a possibility he could have. It's a possibility he could have meant that because some of these
That's not what he
people
meant at all.
grew
I
up
think
like.
I know what he meant when I'm pretty sure I'm probably the only one up on this goddamn panel. They got to integrate with they trifling asses, okay? Like the way I have to, and that's exactly what they meant. And it's ridiculous that how dare you, and it's offensive. They did not know that is some weirdo wigger talk. And it's a fantasy they have in their head because they want to be black men so bad. They don't fantasize and romanticize with a poverty they don't even know nothing about. It's like that's what you think.
But you make it seem like they had a choice, Beachy. Like these people didn't have a choice to be born where they lived and grew up.
Like, why are you taking it as an attack? What she's saying is not an attack.
I didn't say it was. I'm just saying I disagree because again, these people didn't have a choice to grow up and have the friends that they had, like and be influenced by the people that they was influenced by.
Privileges the black men don't have. You sitting here trying to tell me I married into the stupidest shit ever, and then say, hold on, this one I'm not doing this shit because I look at the white men and I'm telling you they're getting away with all type of stuff. And I look at my brothers and I'm like, hold on, I got to go intervene and pull all type of tricks and jump over hurdles and do some other questionable borderline illegal things just so I can help the brothers, because these white boys up here getting away with everything. So no, you're not going to sit here and tell me it doesn't happen when I'm right here in the middle and I'm dang on doing it because I choose to at this point. But there was a point in time where it was very offensive, like, whoa, this is not right, this shouldn't be done this way, because I do get to see white men drive off into the sunset, white men growing farms in fields, some of them that I got dang on of God knows what, and I'm not going to be taking accountability for. That had nothing to do with me, but they over here growing all type of stuff. No one goes over there.
So let me ask you this. So we got hold on, wait a minute. Don't get mad. Don't get scared now. Don't get scared. Okay, let me ask you this. So white man walks down the street in front of a police officer with a bag of white stuff. He doesn't get in trouble because he's white. If a black man did the same thing, he's gonna get in trouble because he's black.
No one just walks down the street with a bag of a suspicious substance in their hand. Like,
this is a hypothetical. I didn't say that they are hypothetical.
Yeah, I can tell you something. I can tell you something that applies to that.
Just holding a Ziploc bag of a strange substance, like with a finger pointing.
But that's what you said. You say if it was a white man, he not gonna get in trouble because you know white people.
Ridiculous now. No one just nobody, white nor black, walks around with a bag of suspicious substance in their hand, saying, "Look what I got. Is anybody gonna check me?" No one does that. So you need to give a more probable
Let me add to what you're saying.
Black people are better at.
Let me add to what you're saying. Hold on 1 second, Royce. Let me just say this.
More.
Because what you're saying, it is. I think it goes both ways. Because there's some people, like I say, that experience like certain things too, where they do get jumped by police or talk to crazy, and they be white people. But I can remember one time too when I was working. I worked at a Best Buy in Des Moines, Iowa, and the man that worked on asset protection with me, he was an older white guy from down there. Man, that man was involved in selling meth, went to prison and everything. Right? Got into a situation where he got shot and he had to return fire. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, man, bro. I was like, you got all of these felonies on your record. I was like, man, my uncles would never be able to work here. Because my uncles got the same felonies. They got gun possession. They got possessions of a controlled substance. All of that shit. They'd never be able to work here.
And somebody still hired that crack ass, right?
Man, I ain't gonna.
Now you take that and flip the card. They can't even get a job from a single possession charge. Like, they out here struggling for basic work with like companies, and they got a single possession charge with small amounts. It's like, come on, that whole life has been shadowed, haunted by their charge. Meaning, Whitey over there, he got all type of felons and like a rap sheet that can wrap around this panel 20 times and still gonna get that good job. And y'all can't tell me no different.
Let me tell y'all, yo, look up some guy. Look up this guy named Newman, right? He's a politician. I think he was governor or senator.
Gary Newman?
I gotta look up his name. He was a black politician, and he went to the feds and everything, and he was reelected. So what are we talking about here? Like, so we can speak anecdotal experiences all day.
What are you talking about? You mentioned one politician that was reelected.
So
the same thing like Donald Trump was reelected.
Thank you. Wait.
Hold on. No, so now we're saying, hold on. So now we're saying, right, that it happens to everybody, right? It's not just one race, right?
No, but you
use one individual when it's actually been proven and well documented that when black people have felonies or when they have something that involves with police on their record, they get looked over versus white people that have the same thing. That's
Can I say this?
Yeah, everybody on this panel probably got a job, so it doesn't seem like it's stopping us.
Okay, I'm gonna say
I ain't got no fucking firearm possession of controlled substance on my background.
So is it because he was black or because he had a possession of firearm on his record?
Did you hear what I just said about the guy that I work with at Best Buy, who was a white man who had meth? He had control. He went to jail for meth. He went to jail for firearm possession.
So Rakim, you're telling me that there's not black men who had horrible criminal history and didn't change their life around and they got decent jobs now?
It depends on where you at. Some can be truck drivers. You have some that work at Amazon, but it's been less than likely.
They're not blue collar workers.
Likely. It's less than likely.
How many do you need me? How many do you need me to like find like that? They're probably in politics. They're in corporate America. They're
corporate American with a criminal record. Find me those people, sir.
Exactly, find them.
You're not gonna get a lot of people not gonna get jobs in corporate America if they got criminal records. That's just
listen. Can I say this?
Yeah, but there's people in corporate America with criminal records.
Find them.
No, I wouldn't doubt it, but I'm just saying it's way harder for you to get a quote unquote corporate job with a criminal record.
It's not, but you have to still,
anybody.
But you still gotta meet the requirements set forth for that, right? I had a friend who has 3 felonies, even an escape, and this is in the late 2000s. He ended up being the manager of the city that used to lock him up. And I'm gonna say this with the Trump card, right? Because in our time, right, I don't know if y'all live on the East Coast and y'all remember Marion Barry. Y'all remember him?
Yeah, I remember the mayor of DC. Yeah, I remember.
The mayor of DC who was caught smoking crack, and he still got reelected.
Yep.
So
yeah, I remember that. Well, I don't remember that, but I heard of it.
Yeah, the fat one. I remember him.
Yep.
He was a black man. He got reelected. He was a dark skinned brother too.
Oh no, I heard.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta start having this.
We gotta stop being paranoid.
We gotta start having this lack of confidence.
Stop being
that we keep
paranoid.
pushing into the black community, man. Like it just seems like that we just always want to say because you was born black, you just can't do nothing with your life. Like
it's like an insecurity, bro. That shit is wild, bro. Wait a minute,
How did you get there?
Wait a minute, not a gaslight, nothing that's going on, but it is. Look at this, right? It's not legal to discriminate, right? Systematically. But a system is not just an invisible place or it's not just machine. It's humans that got their own biases. So humans with their biases, they could push the envelope for some racism and shit like that. But legally, somebody can't block you just because of your race. Yeah. Look at individuals. Right. Yeah, but individuals got their biases based on how they're being raised. So they're gonna be the police and come in with a bias. They're gonna be the HR person that's hire somebody else that might, you know what I'm saying, be less qualified than you or whatever. But it's people going in there and doing this shit. It's not like some sort of situation where all white people conspiring against black people. I think when people say that shit, it minimizes the shit that actually do be happening. Individuals going here and try to cock block you and shit like that.
Yeah.
Right. It's like when people overuse certain words, like calling anyone a PDF. When you're just throwing that word out, then you're taking away the meaning of the actual word when someone is actually doing it in real life. So
right, you're right about that.
And let me just give y'all another example. Y'all do know on this side of the YouTube, on Black YouTube, I ain't doing it. We're the only ones who's scared to say the word sexually assault or the R word for the actual act that was done, or the N word with Erder. We over here, they done convince y'all that you got to say Erder, which is taken away from the meaning of what was happening. If a sex crime was happening, you call it what it is. Y'all over here calling it pieces of fruit, a grape. Are you kidding me? Meanwhile, Amanda and Becky and them over there are saying the proper word that fits the crime. But we bought this lie. And now y'all running panels talking about they're going to strike my channel if you don't say unalive. When I go over there and Chad and Tyler them have no problem saying died or killed. And we over here talking about unalive.
I'm gonna say this, BT. I'm not going. It's not my place to do that because I don't want to ruin nobody else's channel. Basically,
let me let you know from a host perspective, right? A lot of words you say is not really bad, but if you abuse the word, then somebody could use it against you. You know what I'm saying? Or the transcript could let's say they shadow banning some type of shit. I don't be knowing how the algorithm work, but just to avoid people abusing shit, because people don't got holes bar. I just try to not do that shit from the jump, so people could be self-conscious. But if we say Jew or we say some other shit, it's not gonna make the video come down. But if somebody abusing the shit just because there's no fucking borderline, then this shit is gonna go wild because a lot of people don't got no restraint. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't heard that if you said like a cuss word like 5 times in a row or something like that, they'll strike it. Like I done heard stuff like that.
Not gonna strike you.
Well, I wish I knew that because then I could have told my cat story way better.
Yeah, you have to really read the guidelines. Like this is just something that it was like a. I don't want to say some people are guinea pigs, but some of you are, and I'm not saying you are, DJ. But yes, the system is going to sprinkle some stuff out there and see who's dumb enough to run with this. Who actually thinks they cannot say the word murder? Who actually thinks that they can undo Webster's dictionary? Okay, Wikipedia and all the dynamics of the human language and start talking like animals and making up enunciations that don't even exist in the human vocabulary. Let's see who runs it the most. And I guarantee there's a chart and somebody's sitting back there and they're look at them. They really keep calling it great.
When it comes to YouTube,
they do this all the time. And I may or may not be a part of that system that does that, but I'm just saying that it is done.
When it comes to YouTube, most things is about context, right? So you could say certain shit, but the context that you're saying it do matter on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Right. So when I run my stream, and many times I do it all, and I said, we're going to see what happens, y'all. And I do these little tests. They don't say anything, okay? Even with the rainbow people, I don't get a 18 or older thing. I don't get the yellow turn to the green turn to the yellow. None of that happens because I speak directly to the system and say, absolutely not. I'm not going to rewrite the human language or dumb myself down by making up words that only an animal will make. Like y'all don't listen to yourself sometimes and say, hold on, you want to replace the word. Find a word that makes sense that is in a dictionary to replace the word that's causing a questionable act with your YouTube guidelines. You don't have to make up an animal sound or a piece of fruit to replace a sexual assault. No one can make you do that, and that's not in YouTube's policy nor their guidelines. But there are people on our side.
Sometimes people do that because it's on the fly. Like they're probably freestyling. They're probably trying to think of a word to say. But one thing I would say, one time I was reviewing DJ Academics, trying to coerce a young man to get some pum pum, and somebody flagged my channel, and my video got taken down for endangering minors. Endangering minors. I didn't say nothing about no crazy. There's people that's actively trying. When y'all be like, why you turn on the DVR? Nigga, it's people that be targeting my channel.
And you just
I gotta be on my P's and Q's. I can't be like, oh my bad, I should have been on my P's and Q's. Nah, I'm just doing it. I'm preventing it before because there's people that literally, I don't even be wanting to tell y'all what be happening to my shit. So, look, man.
And no, DJ, we understand. Like, we understand that you're just trying to follow the rules, but
no, I'm just trying to follow the rules, but I'm trying to prevent certain shit from happening. I'm trying to save my ass because time with the video, you could appeal shit, but not every time that you appeal something is gonna they're gonna approve the shit. Cause y'all was up here when I reviewed this shit. We ain't said nothing weird at all, but somebody went and struck the channel for that shit.
No, yeah, I got banned plenty of times,
That's
but
crazy.
I think that what she's saying is that like it's deeper than that, and honestly, like the whole where it comes from, like this whole fake language shit is bullshit. But I don't think it has anything to do with you personally.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
No, I'm not taking it personal. I'm just saying sometimes
it is.
I'm not taking it personal. I'm just saying sometimes people take different precautions because of different shit that happened on their channel before. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, no, we know. Go ahead, Beachy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to
I was
cut you
going
off.
to say I wouldn't say it's as serious as going and dumping some dope in the neighborhood and see what happened and run with it. But when people begin to undo your humanity and undo your ability to speak proper dialogue, right? We don't want to use the ebonics. We're going to speak properly, and that you could convince, and then you got to make up a This is not what I'm not talking like that. I refuse to talk like that. If I can't say the word or find a substitute for that's suitable, then we got a problem. And it's not going on in other places. I know you guys don't deviate from this space and you stay in your little boxes, but I'm telling you, no one is doing that. The things that they're getting away with on the other side of the street are, I don't know if I want to laugh or if I'm impressed at this point. Okay, the girls are coming on, like, they just wear nipple tassels and do the whole live stream. Nudity does that and get 1 million views and monetized. They don't get any strikes for nudity because concept, as long as the areola is covered up, you can show whatever part of your boobie you want to. Meanwhile, we all
how much of y'all seen Chaotic Truth? And my fault, BG. I'm trying to find a space to get in, but I was it's really compressed, right?
Well, if I pop up with nipple tassels on,
do y'all watch Chaotic? Do y'all watch Chaotic Truth's channel?
No, I don't.
How much time we done say the N? How much time we done say the N word here on his channel? He can't even say the N word because there's people that's actively when your channel is hot, like there's people actively trying to strike you. You know what I'm saying? When the block is hot, you gotta be more precautious.
All those races he be having on his channel.
You might not be able to drive around bumping music with weed in the car. Somebody else they might be because their neighborhood is not hot. They could do they could park at the pool and smoke the bud and bump the music. But your neighborhood is hot. You better smoke inside your crib. You know what I'm saying? It's like different, bro.
It's all right, right? But let us do it, and it's gonna be an issue.
With all of them races,
I've been to white channels that been censoring too. Like I've been to what's his name, Powder Dusty channel where they certain words they censor too, based on if they were strike for certain shit before.
Yeah.
I'm surprised on Chaotic channel, all of them racist white people he be having up there, they don't say the N word. I'm shocked.
Man, hell yeah, they say the N word.
No, he stopped them from saying the N word recently.
A lot, and they do say it. Yeah.
He stopped them from saying the N word recently because his channel been getting into trouble. That's why he been turning on the DVR so you can rewind and find the timestamp to report this shit. Turn on the DVR and delete this. Why I think a lot of his streams he delete them after.
I see. I ain't know. I only been there and saw a glimpse. Or wasn't for me, so I don't really rock with him.
Yeah, when you're doing risque type content, you gotta cover your ass, you know what I'm saying? Because YouTube already don't like that shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of ads can't run on risque type content. This is why I had to put my shit into gambling and
we're not
alcohol.
talking about your channel. Some people, this is an attack on DJ. We get it. This is a safe place over here. That's why we're all over here, not over there on those freaks side.
Amen.
We're over here because we like him. We want his channel protected. We get it. That was a overall example. When I said this side of the space, I'm talking about colored, brown, melanated people. So stop taking it serious as if we talking. We love DJ, okay? We gonna comply.
No, I'm not taking it personal, BG. I'm just saying that some channels, like if they was targeted.
Channels, we get it. We've been around here for years, decades.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you, BG. I'm just saying some channels, based on what they went through in the past, they might take certain precautions. Look at this Fighter channel. He played music requests, and his stream still be up. I play music requests. They take my shit down. It's not. It just happens. It's a roll of the dice.
I don't get the music. Now I ain't gonna lie about that. I don't get how they is it because you got a DJ by your name? Do you think that has something to do with it? Because
probably.
You're not the only one. Y'all play music, and now we don't have the streams. The parties have gotten blocked. A lot of really good commentaries gotten blocked because of the music. Then somebody else do the same thing. Over in the goddamn Mo3 sector, nobody blocked the video. Nobody takes it down.
Because it's automated. It's AI and it's not perfect. That's why. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck that AI shit.
Yeah, you playing with fire, nigga. If you playing music on your stream, I ain't gonna hold you. You playing with absolute
only
fire.
if you monetizing the stream. They'll take it down, but they'll bring it back up. Shows to the CJ. He said, funny thing is there's probably some panel with a poor white person stereotyping black people, just like what's happening here. White people and black people are very similar. I don't think we stereotyping white people really, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Some people probably did, you know what I mean?
I do. Everybody does. That's how you like.
Yeah. Like
So don't get mad when a white boy come up here and start stereotyping y'all asses. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Well, you want me to call some up? We can bring that.
No, I don't want you to call no goddamn. Hell no.
Who's like, the thing is, whoever said that, you don't need to say that. They do that when they wake up. They do that without even thinking about whatever you just said.
Listen,
Yeah, but you acting like it's right. You acting like that's a natural thing to do. Like
it was raised to stereotype black people.
It's
It's like they are obsessed with us. Like when
For
they
real.
wake up.
Yes.
Don't nobody give a damn about y'all. Y'all gotta stop lying to
No,
yourselves.
yes, they are. Listen, Chad, Tyler, and Brad they do have a strange, weird obsession, particularly with the women. You're not gonna tell me they do obsess about us. They do wake up and it's like, let me go try to snatch up a black chick. They have a weird or try to find a way to be one of y'all. Like they do. It is so weird. It's creepy. And if you be around in a room with them long enough, you will start to feel awkward. Your skin will start to crawl because you see them over there imitating and doing these things. And it's like, girl, them cornrows are not gonna hold. They gotta the things that they do to try to perpetuate our blackness is embarrassing. It's like, man, just chill out.
BT, have you ever seen BT? Have you ever seen a white girl with cornrows? Like and do sometimes they look good with it, right?
You like men. Why are you asking us that?
Have you seen them get them done? See, what he's asking is the after effect. Have you watched them what it takes for them to hold those cornrows?
Yeah, it's probably because of the type of hair. I can imagine because of the type of hair.
What has to happen because their hair won't hold. We have to actually braid in an actual piece of string, like a rope. Take that and tie that and loop that in so the hair will loop around that rope. Tie it in the braid. Use the most extreme measures to hold that braid. So you're seeing an after effect, like, oh, those look good, but you need to watch them doing it and see what type of additives are intertwined in their hair for that cornrow to stuff. Then come back and have this conversation. And you're gonna be like, well, dang. Come back and then we'll talk about it.
Why do you always have to be a contrarian to anything pro-black?
Because I don't like pro-black. I don't like being pro-black. Because I think that's not crazy. To me, it's not crazy. Because I think a person is more. Yeah, I'm not black. You're right. I'm brown. So a person is more than their skin color. You heard? You're more than your skin color, man.
Peter, you're an embarrassment. I really don't mean.
Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like people like if that's your identity, if you identify with your color, like you don't have more to you than your color. You don't have more layers to you as a person.
No, you're multi-layered. Let me ask you this. Right? What do we judge each other by? What's the first 2-3 things we judge each other by?
By your character, by the way you move.
No, shut up.
So when you first meet somebody,
you shut the fuck up, bitch.
Wait a minute, yeah. So when you just meet somebody, you judge them by their character.
Exactly.
No. Yeah. Why? How would I? Yeah, I have to judge you by your character, by the way you move.
What about identifying? How do we identify people?
Sorry?
What's the top 3 things we use to identify people?
I don't know if they're male, if they're female, their age. Depends. It depends.
And the other one. What's the other one, man?
Right.
Well, I mean, their height.
Hell nah, this use a damn lie. Listen, look at this, bro.
I'm a liar.
You can't even tell somebody height.
I'm a liar because I don't agree with you,
bro. You can't even if somebody asks you about if you seen such and such person, you can't even eyeball the height most of the time. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be accurate as their skin color.
You mean like okay, like example, like a police description. They're gonna say black male.
Right, you'll be able to ballpark the height. You ballpark the height, the weight, but you're not ballparking the phenotype. You could tell if like it's a black person or at the bare minimum if the skin was dark.
Okay. So now, shout out to a person being to tell colors. They're not colorblind. But when are people gonna move past that?
No, we do move past that. That's just the first layer. This is what I'm saying. you're not gonna be able to stop people from making a judgment based on. It's not like they judging somebody's character based on the color of the skin. That's goofy. But we make judgment. You're gonna pick the red door or a blue door. You just made a judgment, bro. Like, what do you mean? You making a judgment.
Okay, hold on, but the issue is maximizing little things. Over romanticizing.
Your audio is going crazy.
Yeah, your phone must be about to die.
Ice on your ass, boy.
Yeah, your shit messed up.
Yeah, your shit. You gotta drop down, fighter. Your shit is something crazy, bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna be hypocrite and pretend that we don't take some color and stuff into consideration, because it is a thing. I mean, we ain't got a lot of kick it, okay? We can say you don't, but it does happen. But ultimately, your presentation in that skin, in that color, is what's gonna define how the people interact with you. So you can be one skin tone, but your character is another type of way. I can't find a word I want to say, and it's gonna count you out. I really don't want to go here. I'm just gonna be quiet. I don't want to do that.
Do it.
I'm probably gonna get kicked off the panel about down, but I just don't.
Oh no, go ahead.
I can't be one that said they gonna come at me. That's them Greeks and shit. But ultimately, I'll just say this. If I go into a room, dang, they ain't gonna come out.
Boy, you better not bring up the white boy.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna white girls.
Do it.
Oh man,
I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna get what I want. I'm gonna get my way, and they're gonna go with the flow of what I got going on. But see, I know how to run it because I was also taught things. So that's what I'm saying. Never mind, because it's not gonna work with just the average audience. These are things that we teach way early on in advance on how to meet eye to eye with Amy, Amanda, Becky, Allison, and Heather. So I can't really answer. There's no way I can do this. It's gonna.
So are you saying you're gonna be the alpha female in a group of white women? Is that what you?
Absolutely, every time. And they're going to they're going to go along with what I'm saying. I'm often put there like, we're just gonna send Bridget over there. She know how to run it, and then we won't have an issue. Versus someone else can be like me and sort of, and they don't get the same outcome because they did not stick to the script. Because there's a way to do it, and that's going to get you what you need to get and bring it on home. And there's another attitude you can go over there with, and you're going to come back empty-handed. That's you can't argue. That's a fact. We do it all the time.
So it's because you're black and not because you have this outgoing personality. It's just because you're black.
Or maybe because she's black, she has an outgoing personality.
Oh man, so where's your outgoing personality since you're black?
Right here.
Hold on, y'all seen that movie Bring It On?
We are there. I don't know what he on today, what he's drinking, what he's sipping over there.
No, because I just hate this. White people is this, black people is this, all because you know how random it is for you to even be what you are.
The assignment. No. Y'all don't understand the assignment. We get it.
There is no assignment. It is 2026. It's 1990s, 80s, 60s, 70s mindset. Gotta go. This stuff gotta go, bro.
Really gotta go. Because let me ask you this, Keon. How many? So we're on a black panel, right? And I'm talking to you, Keon. So listen up. We're on a black panel, right? What white panel do you know where there's somebody talking to the white people like you're talking to the black people? Not nan one.
I mean, what panel do you know? What white panel do you know where they up there crying about how black people don't like them? Like, what are we talking about? Like, what kind of question?
Bro, you do know that white people build a whole like society off of racism.
Okay, and again, this is not the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. It's 2026.
So let me finish. You sitting up here talking about what you're tired of and what you're this and with, you do realize that you are the outcast, right? Like you're the clown.
Right.
I could be that. What am I saying that you actually disagree with?
You are that. Like,
okay, so what am I saying that you actually disagree with?
Exactly that, because Keon, let me tell you something, sweetheart.
I don't want to listen to what you got to say.
Either you can listen or you can be a jackass. You choose.
I'll be a jackass.
Okay, goodbye.
he can also listen as a jackass because he's gonna listen. So he just wants to play and troll. But this is the thing. When he said he doesn't, there's no assignment. There is an assignment, because if I needed to get something massive done, and I don't need to color not to eliminate us, I take somebody like Black Dove and say, get ready. She's gonna understand what I mean without me having to even go into detail. She's gonna understand the assignment. And then when we present what we need to present, we're gonna come back with results. Do you understand what I'm saying, Kiki?
So y'all are together. So y'all are together because y'all think the same way, not because you're black, but because you think the same. Because I'm black too, but you just didn't include me because I don't think the same way.
Well, we didn't include you because you made a fucking fool of yourself.
Okay, so since I'm a fool, I'm not included, but I'm black though. But y'all together because of
fool of yourself. And here's my point, Keon. In the white supremacist sphere, there's no white woman having a conversation with a white man.
Oh my God. Look, at the end of the day, y'all only like black people that think like y'all. It's only the black community when the black community all thinks the same way. And that's why it's y'all. It has nothing to do with the fact that you're actually a black person. Because if that was the cue, if that was the actual thing, then you would include me, rather if I think one way or the other.
Keon. Take a lesson from your white superhero and let a woman finish.
Please.
There is no.
I'll let you talk. I don't know about the other superhero shit you were talking about. Go ahead.
Are you gonna? Okay, so you're gonna let me talk? Okay, thank you. There is no white woman in any white space right now having the same conversation with a man that Beachy and I are having with you.
I don't give a
damn.
You
are the problem. I don't know what you just said, but you are the problem. Why do you make your women argue with you?
At the end of the day, there's no such thing as a black community.
I'm not done.
I don't care what you're talking about.
No matter what you have to say, no other woman has to sit up here and argue with their man. Period.
I don't give a damn. Why you keep continuing to say the same thing when I just told you I don't give a damn?
Keon, I'll just leave you with this and then I'll shut the fuck up. If you want to get into those other spaces, learn how to stop arguing with women. Well, clearly you do. So if you want to get into those other spaces, learn how to stop arguing with women. Because you may be able to get away with it here, but the second that you get into the space that you want to be in, you're going to be a bitch.
Well, I would hate that if you would go into another space that you clearly want to be in as well, and when they give you an argument back to one of something that they disagree. Hold on, wait a minute. I'll let you talk.
No.
And when they give an argument, wait a minute. I'll let you come on. As a woman, let me talk, okay? Since you want to play this woman-man thing, let me talk. So I hate for you to go into these other spaces where somebody.
Go ahead, bro.
I would hate for you to go into these other spaces where you actually argue with somebody, or you have an argument or a debate, whatever the hell you want to call it. And when they disagree with you, the first thing you start to do is say that he's not black no more, or to say that you're not a part of what I think, or to say that, or try to shut me up because I just don't agree with you. If anything, give a rebuttal. Just give an argument back. You don't have to start name calling and say that you're a clown and all that. I don't give a damn. You can call me whatever you want to. Motherfuckers think that I'm a deadbeat. So you really can't call me nothing else that will hurt my motherfucking feelings. But at the end of the day, let's just have an argument about it. Y'all going into this other shit. Like, I could care less about that.
He just said it. Let us have an argument about it. And she just said we're not going to argue about it.
Well, let's move on. What else we got to talk about?
No, we're not going to move on.
This is getting
words. You just said you don't want to argue,
and you just said you didn't want to argue with me because women don't need to argue with men. So since you're such a subordinate that you can't think of an argument,
why y'all can't have a discussion instead of an argument? Let's just all have a discussion.
Really upset.
Honestly, I think you can substitute whatever word you want to call this. At the end of the day, they're saying they don't want to do it because men shouldn't do that with women. So, okay, let's move on.
Find it odd that me and Black Dove has had very little interaction, very little dialogue. Well, we have not engaged in a single argument or tiffle or little tiffle or couple on this panel. You don't find that odd.
Y'all are gaslighting.
But no,
it's okay.
It's high chance. She and I, we get on a few panels together. I have not had to raise my voice. She hasn't had to raise her voice. We have not had a tip or brush of the shoulder, pull of the hair, or any of that. We didn't have to one up the other person. She spoke, and when I had something to say, I came in. You don't realize that there's a common denominator in play right here that surpasses all your level of thinking. You don't get that, and that's why you're going to have to stay where you are.
I don't care. I don't give a damn. I just want to talk about what we're talking about. Y'all are talking about other things that ain't got nothing. Look, let's just move on. We could just move on.
Beachy, he does give a damn. That's why he piped up in the first place.
That's why his temperament is getting a little bit heated and whatever. He doesn't want to be left behind or an outcast. He just won't understand. You got to play by the rules, okay? And he's
exactly
just be defiant and act that way. So that's why he's just going to get left behind. I'm sorry, Kiki. I'm trying to bring you with us, but you don't want to fight. Okay, and you want to be difficult and defiant and just unnecessarily rebellious. Or at this point,
the new generation don't think like y'all. I hope you do realize eventually that you are the ones that's being left behind. For you to think that because you are the ones that's actually you are the ones that's perpetuating your white supremacist mindset and your white supremacist people that you love so much by even thinking about this color thing in the way that you do.
So
that's all I'm saying.
It, but you're the one who pipes up and defends white people. Be quiet.
Because you're trying to say that they what did you say? They rape all their kids and all this other crazy stuff. Like that's not a white person thing. That's just a weird person thing.
Hold on, wait a second. First of all,
okay, you said incest. You said incest. So okay, now what? I was just thinking of an example. Like y'all trying to be technical and stuff now.
How dare you see here? You're not gonna undo the FBI database, sir. All the sexual offenses and crimes are predominantly on their side. So you're gonna say right now we pull up the FBI crime data statistics. It's not gonna show white people as a majority with sex crimes, including family, interloping.
You don't think it's weird that they keeping track of crimes based off of race?
No, I don't think it's weird at all. I think it's called.
What's the purpose? What's the purpose?
Keon, what's weird is whenever somebody talks about white people,
it's just data. It's just data.
No, I want you. You need to answer that question. What are you going to do with the FBI data that sits there and puts out the not only who does it the most, but gets very detailed into the heinous of the crime, just like with the sex offender list. That why do they keep up? You know what? How dare you? So why are we keeping up with the sex offenders list as nationwide and global? Why do we need any data?
Is it based off of race? Actually, you know what? That's a good question. Is the sex offender list based off of race?
You sound like you might be on the list question. Yeah, I think black
does anybody ask, is that a black person on that sex offender list or is that a white? Do they just say, oh, he's on the sex offender? That's what they say, right? They just say that.
Let me ask a question.
I think they give their race and age and all of that shit.
No, I'm talking about us though. Do we say that?
They're also going to use the body part that was used to assault the victim. The only thing they will not include on that list is the victim's name. But
I'm not talking about a description. I'm talking about us. I'm talking about us.
No, it does say that on the FBI database, Caucasians or whatever percent more likely to do this type of sex crime against a relative, against an unknown member. It goes into against an animal. It gets very specific, and they are leading by a large margin. What are you talking about? It's been like that forever. It has never been where we neck and neck or we close to them. They are winning everybody. They raping all the animals.
Yeah, keep perpetuating the white man's mindset to categorize us in colors. Yeah, keep perpetuating it and think that you're actually fighting for something.
I have a question.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you stop talking for 5 seconds, Keon?
Sure.
So my question for you is, how dare you sit up here on a panel full of black people and ask if everything is about race when you're presumably sitting in a country that was built on everything is about race from the white person? You know how much of a fool you sound like, and before you
I just advance my knowledge. I just don't get stuck in the 1980s. Like it's just that simple.
I cannot stand.
It's 2026. Like
exactly.
Keep up with the times. Keep up with the current events.
Because I cannot
live in reality.
When a black person eats up that delicious ass white cake and says, "Oh my God, is everything about race?" This country was built on a white person
literally not
everything about race. Be quiet. This country was built on white people making everything about race. The reason why your ancestors had to fight so hard for your ass to exist, because if they didn't fight, you wouldn't exist, baby.
Racism is a poor man's ideology. I just hope you know that.
No, racism, this country was built on a white person making everything about race. So I don't want to sit up here.
I bet you I can make a white man lick my boot right now if I gave him $1,000.
You could, but you won't because you're too busy.
I bet you I could. On God, I could. Like, what are we talking about? It's 2026. Stop the bullshit. Like if we could just please stop the bullshit.
Be quiet. Let me finish talking. You could definitely make a white person do that, but you won't because you're too busy cucking. I don't want to hear.
Cucking is crazy.
Oh my God, is everything about race? Yeah, they made it about race. If you drag me into the mud, don't blame me for getting dirty, motherfucker. You brought me here. And you know what you sound like, Keon? You sound like a motherfucker who was dragged in the mud, who got dirty as fuck and is looking at everybody else dirty, being like, why y'all dirty? Like, you sound stupid.
When is the last time you had a racist moment with a white person?
Keon.
No, let's get down to the dirty shit that you went through. When was the last time you actually had a racist moment with a white person? Let me know. I want to see what that experience is about. And let me know how many years ago it was.
It wasn't years ago, Keon. I live in Colorado.
It was just recent. Okay, go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you sound stupid. Like, I live in Colorado.
Wait a minute. You're not answering my question, Mel.
The last time I had a racist moment, I'd say about like 2.5 weeks ago. Do you know? You want to know what it was?
Of course it was.
Do you want to know what it was since you're so fucking curious?
Sure. Go ahead.
I was in a...
Yo, Witch. You can hear me, Witch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, now, because now I'm in New Haven and shit, because I was on the highway. Now, you know what it is, Witch, man? It's just, I get tired of the crying, bro.
Actually, can you be quiet because Keon and I were talking?
No, I don't give a fuck.
Well, so, can you be quiet? I didn't ask if you gave a fuck. I asked if you could be quiet.
Wait,
no.
Let me say this. Let me say this before y'all got it right. I'm gonna hold you, fighter. I don't like victim shit either, right? However, I just don't like gaslighting shit either, man. Like me personally, I don't like seeing myself as a victim. Like I cringe at that shit. I imagine my dad just shaking his head at me. I don't want to feel or say victim shit. Like, I don't like even hear. Bro, if I'm not feeling good, I don't even say I'm sick. I say I'm not feeling the best or I'm not feeling too good. Because I don't like accepting defeat and shit like that.
Right. Yeah, but you know, because I think because I look at the world glass half full, right? I look at the world glass half full, right? So I see like
No, you don't.
Red Ranger. Hold on, bitch. I like Red Ranger.
Wait a minute. Come on. Yeah, chill.
Yeah,
wait a minute. Black Dove. Let him land. Black Dove. Let him land.
Like Red Ranger, right? He looked like he did well for himself, right? Got a family. His son doing good. Ism, his son's doing good. He did well for himself. We got Beachy. I don't know too much about her, but I know she's, she's doing good for herself, and I know her daughter. She's in her daughter's life. Rakim, homeowner, hard worker. Like I see so many good examples of black people online all day in this space that I can't dwell on the losers, man. I can't. I just see too many positive examples, bro.
Now, so I can
and you know what else too? You know what else is bad too? When y'all sit up here and try to compare what the hell you going through again in 2026 to what Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and them was going through in their time, that is goddamn disgusting to me. When y'all try to make it seem as though that you are going through the same racism, or you're going through the same prejudice, that you're going through the same discrimination as our ancestors did, that's what pisses me off, and that's why I don't like to talk about certain things like this, because again, it's 2026 and you need to be doing at least better than what the fuck they was doing.
Black
personally,
people congregating and like being pro-black is what pisses you off, Keon. Not anything about what you just
tell yourself
said.
that to make yourself feel better, I guess.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
I don't need you to make me feel better, Keon. I feel great.
Never said you did.
I'm on here. I'm on a panel with a beautiful ass black woman with some handsome black men. Like, I don't need any of that to make me feel great. I feel really great being in this space. You don't. But before Fighter rudely interrupted, I just
go ahead.
No, See, I don't even remember what the fuck I was saying, but Keon, you just remember that I had a point. And when I
For
remember
sure.
it,
I remember
I'm gonna
that
bring
point.
it up because I hold grudges.
I got you.
Okay,
I got you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Stop with the game.
Shout out to black people. Shout out to the progress. Shout out to the advancement. Shout out to the love. Shout out to the families. Shout out to the black fathers. Shout out to the black mothers. Shout out to the single black mothers. Shout out to the single black fathers. And give a damn about what a white man think about you. Fuck is we talking about?
Ooh, I like that type of talk, Keon. Keep going. Shout out to you.
I'm you're a little bit tonight. Can you just a little bit got a little angry thing going on there? I don't know what it is. If us being women, if it was us, y'all would say something disrespectful, like are we on our menstrual or something like that? But no. You are a little bit angrier today. Not one time did Black Dove nor I try to compare ourselves to Coretta Scott King. Not once. Okay, we sit here, okay, and start summoning up our experiences to women of such. Okay,
Literally, I don't know where he got that from.
All the way over your head. You just want to be mad about something. He's not being gaslit. He just feels that pressure of what it feels like to not be able to keep up in the conversation, because I'm pretty sure she and I were talking over his head, and I was doing it intentionally. I don't know about Black Dove, but I was intentionally talking over your head because I knew you wouldn't catch on. That's why you're laughing now. But it's not going to be so funny. I ain't going to hit you there like that. But
hit him, girl.
Go ahead.
You still a little young man.
Do it, girl. Do
He's
it.
a kid, because he's a kid. So sometimes you just got to let a child know, listen, you're just a child and you got childish ideologies. And when you grow up and can sit at the adults table with the adults, you'll see it a little different. And you'll realize you said some of the most ignorant, stupid things in your youth and your folly. And I don't hold you to that. It's okay. It's called youth and folliness. And you have a right to sit in it. Just know that the day will come that you'll realize you were such a fool. And it's okay.
Girl, he's realizing that in real time.
I don't know. He probably, he is young. That's why I'm just giving him a pass, because, he gets to be
getting no
folly.
passes from me, Keon.
So you saying when you was young, you thought like how I thought, and you changed into this as you got older?
I never thought how you thought. I thought.
So when you was young, you thought how you thought.
I had foolish ways.
So what you just said is irrelevant, right? Because you always thought the way you thought, right?
Overall, my thinking pretty much has been consistent. I'm saying I had foolish ways as a youth, but my foolish ways I'm not going to be the type of your foolish ways, because you are, you're not open to even hearing or seeing a bigger picture. So we're not,
because I've heard it multiple times. I've heard it multiple. I'm pretty sure you didn't hear what I'm pretty sure you never heard what I said though. Back to you. That's why you don't really have an argument. All you have is just, and I'm not saying argument as like the colloquial negative way. I'm saying it as a definition, right? That's why you don't have an argument back, because it seems as though you really kind of. It sounds like you really agree with me. That's why you sit up here saying this other stuff. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what it sounds like to me.
Are we in the same place? Because I didn't at all. When I'm not arguing with you, nor do I agree with you. What panel are you on, sir?
I'm here. I'm here. I think so.
I look at you as an example. You're like null and void, because everything you say is just like, okay, it has no depth, no. It doesn't have the weight to catch my attention. That's what it is. So no, I'm not agreeing with you, nor am I arguing. You don't have the weight, sir. Get your gears up, get your weight up, and then maybe we can have a conversation, okay? Your weight ain't you. Take it however you want to.
And girl, guess what? He's actively getting his weight up just to talk to you.
Right. Okay, you sitting over there with all the cut. You sitting over there with all the fake packages. Okay, get your weight up and then come again and try to sit with the women, because you are not children. You're the child here. Do you understand, young man?
I think he does.
He better.
Keon, do you understand?
Let's progress the conversation forward, right? We're gonna watch this video that just occurred, right? It literally just happened. We're gonna try to make sense out of what's going on. I have no clue what I'm walking into, right?
But I do understand trauma is trauma, death is death.
Yes.
And pain is pain. So it could be different, but it's still
but it's still
pain.
Trauma.
And
Yes.
it causes an effect.
There you go.
That we all understand.
Yes.
Do y'all think that y'all chose that, right? Listen to y'all, right? Y'all had a good upbringing. Do you think that, because I truly believe that a lot of people chose
to go to the military because they felt that probably give them some toughness about them.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of people will choose to go not realizing at the moment what they signing up for, but they think that, well, I know I can't be the street guy, right? And this is what all the women, like, and y'all assume that it was the toughness of street guys. So y'all was like, well, I'm gonna go with something that's way more stronger than the street guys. I'm gonna go to the military.
That's a small portion of them, JP.
Why not just ask people why they joined? Most of them will tell you the truth. They'll give you the answer.
Yeah, hold on. T-Max was saying something.
But
I was just going to ask JP a question because he was trying to act like it was a large portion of guys that wanted to be tough. That say I'm gonna go to the military to get tough. Right. But JP, let me ask you a question. You told me a story about that. You had met a young lady and then her cousins came around and you saw how the environment was with the cousins around. So you jumped off some shit just to set the stage, right? Right? Did you tell me a story like that? Like you called for a family fade of one. You just met the girl, and then you called for a family fade on one of her cousins that you just met, right?
Yeah, because he was too tough for me.
But you wanted to set the stage for what?
To set the stage that I wanted to set the stage of respect. So I want her to know that I understand that she viewed her cousin like this big time gangster from Chicago, and if I was gonna be dealing with her. By me dealing with women, I know that they leverage that. They leverage their gangsterist men and their family over you. So when we got the bed, so I want her to see from the gate that I'm willing to go to war with your people. So I'm not gonna be the one that you just gonna call. They gonna automatically have this respect, and she gave me that respect ever since then.
So JP met, y'all heard about this story. He told us he was over here. He met the lady, and he fought her cousin the same day. He got a number. He fought her cousin to show her that he ain't no punk and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you must be on something or coming off.
So my whole point bringing that up was that you saying that people do shit right for show just to prove that they're tough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right, we're good.
No. Wait. But now there's a difference. The difference is this is my life though. This been me. Ever since I was a young buck, it's not about being tough at all. Well, sometimes when you get women, every once in a while, but this is my life. When I'm talking to the people that went to the military, they really didn't have to. A lot of times, like I was shocked that JT had a mom and a dad. He had a good upbringing. Scam had the same good upbringing, and all of this other type of stuff. It seems like to me, they wanted to fit in, so by them having a military jacket under their belt, it would give them a title to be like, oh, it's almost like becoming a white dudes used to join a biker gang. They whole square, but they join a biker gang. Now they do a woman walking, everybody else, what you want to be? Oh, I'm part of the outlaws. And so you automatically get this respect. And by you saying that you from the military, American military, you able to tell people that, so you automatically get this toughness.
That's the same thing when people say that I'm from Watts, or I'm from fucking Robert Taylor Homes, or I'm from Milwaukee, or some people say Detroit, and then some people want you to think they're smart because they said I went to Howard, or I went to Harvard, or I went to, like, a lot of people, or some people think that they're tough because they black. So at the end of the day, what the hell we talking about?
T-Max, he keep thinking.
Oh, I got you, Beach. I got you.
He keep thinking the military is just this whole thing.